Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live. Yes. And as you can see, we have a new guest joining us today. We are going to talk, of course, a lot of NBA and some WNBA. So surprisingly, no NFL topic, but right now there's not one that's really super important. So let me go ahead and introduce him. So y'all know I got my main man G. G was good.
What's going on, fellas?
Maintaining. And joining us, we got my guy Bryant Transform, who clearly wants to talk about a certain team in purple and gold. So
I think Lakers, I believe, is what the name. Lakers.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like to say that name.
I think that's what the name is.
All right. So what I want to do here, first and foremost, I want to give Bryant Transform a proper welcome. We all three are veterans here, so I want to say I definitely appreciate your service, B.
Likewise, brother.
Absolutely, it's all love when you see somebody who's willing to put on that uniform and go handle business. So, let me go ahead and welcome you. Here you go.
Nice one, Brad. So try to catch this one.
Got it.
Yeah. Woo!
Thanks for the football, soldier. Mine now.
Go Army.
Beat Navy.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it's gonna be that type of party. So we're gonna go ahead and saddle up.
It's definitely
shout
that
out to
type
all
of
my
party,
sailors out there, Navy servicemen. Okay, that video was entirely disrespectful. I'm reporting that to your upper chain of command. I got it.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead and get that out of the way.
But, hey man, we had to show you some love. You know what I'm saying? We had to show you some love.
I mean, I see your love is different from what the dictionary states. So go ahead.
No doubt. All right, team. Y'all can see from the rundown here. Normally we start from top to bottom, but obviously the NBA draft is the biggest story of the day. And one particular player in the NBA draft, of course, is the biggest story of said draft. So we're gonna rearrange a little bit, and we're gonna start there, and then we're gonna go to the other topics. So let's get right to it. Obviously, we see NBA draft, and this was a weird draft, right? There weren't what we would perceive to be as, the generational talents or the real game changers in this draft. We saw a lot of guys at the top. I want to say 3 guys in the top 7 from France and 4 guys in the top 12 or top 13 from France, I believe. So very interesting. And quick side note to that, the French Olympic team might be something this year, huh? They might look like.
The thing is, I don't think they're playing.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think they're on the roster.
Okay. Well, maybe not. That's something we need to check out. But let's go ahead and start there. So obviously, we're not going to beat around the bush. Biggest story of the NBA draft, and we are going to start with you, my new guest, the Transformer. Bronny James obviously goes number 55, second round to the Los Angeles Lakers. Rich Paul and LeBron James, they flexed their muscles. They got their guy. Where are you on this pick?
I'm everywhere with it. I'm everywhere with it. And what I mean by that, I know they're doing the service for LeBron. The reason why Bronny's getting drafted right now to this day is because of his father. So when I see people talk about that, he's only because of LeBron James. Granted, that's the right thing to do. If I'm the face of the league, I'm the star and everything like that. Like, if I have a chance to play with my son and I brought this city a championship, do right by me. But as far as the pick itself, I think you're in LA. It's going to create that publicity that you want, the views, the clicks, the showmanship for him being at a game is going to be through the roof. Because why? It's a father-son duo playing together in the NBA. When can we say we've seen that before? You know what I mean? When that first assist from either Bronny to LeBron or Bron to Bronny happens, oh man, media is gonna blow up. And when the media is blowing up, everybody's making money. So it's a financial move for the league. It's great for getting the face out there. We're not gonna go into the basketball yet because I don't believe he's gonna be on that roster for long. I think we're just gonna get him in there. Let's go ahead and do this ceremony of father leaving the game, handing it over to his son in a sense that he's in the league situation. And then I think he goes to the G League or something like that to develop a little bit more because, he didn't do a lot at UFC. So seeing the court in the first five games of the year after that, slowly but surely slide him on to the G League, let him develop in the next, 2 or 3 years, he could be on the roster. So
Okay. G, where are you with this?
I'm kind of torn. I don't know if this is such a bigger story for Bronny or is this a story for LeBron and his reach.
You already know where I am on that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he develops. The G League probably wouldn't be a good place for him. I can see him doing that. But we just saw like a guy from the Pistons, right? He get drafted from the G League, so I don't think he's gonna go down to the G League. I think Shorty gonna scrap up. He got his father back in for the next 2 or 3 years. So I think with his father's influence and resources, he'll be able to develop into a guard. I mean, Austin Rivers is still in the league, and it's like, it could go either way, man. I wish the kid the best of luck.
Absolutely.
There's ballers in this draft, so there really is some ballers in this draft. The kid that got drafted to the Spurs and went to
Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Right.
Oh, man, he's a bucket, man. He deserves it. Like, I don't know if Bronny deserves to be in the league right now, and I'm just gonna overlook that until he showed me otherwise. But for right now, he pulled on his dad's strings and got in. So he's stuck in the league. It's relatively a weak draft. A lot of international players. I know I'm all over the place. You guys want to stick with the Lakers, but you got to shout out the other kids that they worked hard to get there, right?
That's
they
right.
didn't jump on their dad back and get carried into the league. But you guys, like Transform, you guys did a really good job with the first pick, right?
Absolutely.
We was laughing about that before the show. You guys did a really good job with the first pick. So much so, I was like, yep, there's nothing else in the draft. I'm just gonna pick up Bronny with my next pick. And
that's why I wasn't mad at it. I mean, 55. I mean, 55th pick in the draft. That could be anything. You know what I mean? That's literally a gamble. You know what I mean? So I think they did right by Bron. Like, hey, let's get his son in there. Let's get his son in there. Boost the morale in him. Get that showmanship. Get them. Like I said, it's about clicks. It's also about clicks. You got to think. It's a lot of money that's going to be made with him being a Laker.
My bad, guy.
Last point I got is like you get to see it full circle, right? Like LeBron came into the league. LeBron had kids. We got to see his kids on the basketball court at a very young age, and now it's full circle. Now his kid in the league playing with him. So it is really a good storyline. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to get it like that though, right? Because other players are gonna have that chip on their shoulder. And they come at you every night, regardless of how you feel. Like, and
absolutely.
They're gonna talk to you.
So Patrick Beverly is coming. Patrick Beverly's coming.
Go get your pops. Go get your pops.
Right. They're gonna talk greasy to him. Right.
Yeah.
Don't tell your daddy what I did. Now, don't tell your daddy.
Nah, they're gonna say go get him.
You're gonna have to baptize, man. He's gonna have to baptize people every night.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he gonna get dragged on every media station. As soon as somebody get the best of him.
Oh, it's coming.
Those are all great points. So first, y'all already know. I don't think this is anything to do with Bronny. Now, wait, let me take that back. It has a little to do with Bronny, right? I'm a father. I think we're all fathers here. So we all want the best for our children. I totally understand that, right? I get it. But to me, LeBron, he is such an attention. He is so addicted to attention. Let me say that. I was about to use a different term, but he's so addicted to attention. I believe truly, and I've been saying this is much more about what do you call it? About LeBron in terms of, like G said, when he get that first pass to his son, or his son gets his first pass to him, and it's gonna be like oh, look at LeBron, look how happy he is. He's like a kid, he's rejuvenated, and oh wow, we've never seen anything like this in 22 years, and he's playing with his son and LeBron and the son. And that's what we're gonna hear so much of, right? Oh, look at the smile, and look at how he's coaching him up on the floor, and We're gonna hear all of that. So to me, this is more so about LeBron than Bronny, because notice Bronny already said, like, that's his dream, not mine. Not saying he doesn't love his dad and appreciate everything his father's done for him, of course. Of course, but he said that's his dream, not mine. And Rich Paul already told it. Bronny told him, all I want is for my name to be called, right? So Bronny has said all the right things, and I believe he's the type of kid that just wants to come in, do the work, and own it, and make it on his own, right? But that's not going to happen with the name that you have. Your name is LeBron James Jr., and they're going to come get you because they couldn't do that to your dad. And like G said, they're going to be talking greasy to you all the way. So now, what happens here is LeBron always going to be trying to jump in and defend him and save him. Like, that's going to mess up Bronny. Like, that's going to mess up his manhood. Now you're going to have that happening, and Bronny going to have to go to his pops at some point and be like, Pops, I'm a grown man. I got to do this for myself.
True.
Is Bronny going to like that? Is LeBron going to like that? Now you have the others. Say again, G?
So I'm going to get him traded.
Well, man, listen,
you get the son traded, boy, that's
he will trade anybody if he thinks it's costing him money or a chance of the chip. He will trade anybody. But no, I mean, then you got the other thing of, we know that JJ Redick, and we'll talk about him later, he can be I'll say that I fully get the impression that he can be difficult if someone is not doing what he thinks they should be doing on the court. And Bronny, as a young player, has plenty of mistakes to make. And I totally get that. There's nothing wrong. Young players make mistakes. But what happens if he needs to be severely reprimanded? JJ Redick, is he going to be able to do that? And if he does that, then what happens with LeBron? We got all these other side issues that shouldn't be issues because it's Bronny James. And finally, my last point on this is I'm frustrated because this is Bronny James taking a roster spot from somebody who may have played overseas or may have played 4 years in college and worked their butt off to get an opportunity to get drafted. But because it's Bronny James, that spot is not going to go to them. You know what I'm saying? So these are all.
But you got to think about that. Like when people say that right there, right? That happens in life, period. You know what I mean? So if your father's the CEO of said business, right? There's plenty of other up-and-coming guys who've been in the business industry, who went to college, who have the credentials. But guess what? My son is next. So guess what? My son is going to leap over everybody. So I don't necessarily feel bad for that, because you see that every day in society, period. You know what I mean? If it's my son and I can put him, if I can give him this position, if I can put him in this spot in life, me as a father, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure my son is in that place to succeed. So from a father standpoint,
yes and no, because just like you, I'm a father, but am I going to put my son in that spot knowing that he didn't deserve it and he's not ready for it? Am I going to do that? Because is that setting him up for success? And I'm not saying Bronny will not eventually succeed, because again, I believe he's a good kid. We know he's got great genes. We know he's got physical tools and all that. But is he ready right now? Is it setting him up for success to put him in this spot for all of the reasons I mentioned? And of course, his actual game on the floor. I think there's, I don't know, man. I think there's just a lot of things standing in his way, and I'm concerned about that. And again, I also don't like the fact of LeBron and Rich Paul flexing the way they did openly. Like, if you pulling the strings behind the scenes, that's one thing. But if you flexing openly and basically saying, yo, we run this, I don't think that's cool or good for the game or good for the league. That's my thought. I could be wrong.
I mean, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, but not openly like this. Remember that interview Rich Paul did last week, and he was like, if we wanted to, we would just force them to take Bronny at 17. I'm like, yo, why would you say that? Why would you publicly say that?
Because we know the reality.
Yeah, he definitely flexing the favoritism there. But at the same time, man, like you gonna have players from all 32 of these, all 31 of the teams going at his neck every day. And so, you know, he's gonna get baptism by fire, because a lot of people believe he don't belong there. So he got to show that night in and night out. You got to earn that respect, or we got to earn that time. If he get in there and shit the bed, he won't be in the game long, right? We may not see him this year. He may not make it out of training camp. So, you know, that's another thing that, I mean, of course, his dad gonna make sure he pull the strings there.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
But
that boy's gonna see the court in 2024 to 2025.
No, he's definitely going to see the court.
Definitely gonna see the court.
Yeah, he got to, especially dad last game.
Yeah, you got to put him in the game this year.
No, you got to.
Yeah, you got to.
To the point you made earlier, Transform, there's the money component. So we can never look past that. But side note, I've always looked at it this way. If you put a great product on the floor and you're competitive and you're winning, the money gonna come. Why you gotta resort to the shenanigans? That's what I'm saying. Just put a great product out, and the money will come.
And the thing, because I'm gonna go more into the details of this about the Caitlin Reese that we got coming up topic.
Oh man,
People
yo, what's up, Russell? He's not going to the G League. LeBron is not going to allow that. There's no way. I can't see it. I would be shocked. I won't be.
I think what he averaged, like 6 points at USC.
5 like or 7.
5.
6 yeah, I mean under 10 player, right? Under 10 points a game.
Yeah.
But I did have a time. I had a chance to check out his highlights. A lot of his the points he showed in the highlights, he played it either above the rim or he was showing distance. You know, some. I believe that since he's been playing the game, he was born on a basketball court. That he's going to stand out. I think it's going to take 5 years for him to come around and get up to speed. But some veterans is going to school him if he set out there today. If they put this product on the field, on the court this week, or this year, he's going to have, and he needs to have that. That needs to happen, right? He couldn't get it done on a collegiate level, and so I think he left because he wasn't going to dominate in the college. We saw that he had some health issues too.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, and so maybe this is more about. Maybe this is more about him finishing up his journey versus because we don't know what shape he's in. We know his dad pulled some strings, which that's not the first time we've seen that. Austin Rivers, Steph brother, right? Like they was all mediocre players, or what they call today role players, right? Not tier 1 player, but maybe like a tier 2, tier 3 player, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see how this work out. But there's some kids that came in this draft that's going to take his change. And he gonna take his lunch money at that rookie at that first year, that rookie game when they all come together and play. Man, is he either gonna sink or swim, fellas? I think that's where it's gonna go.
What's good, L Buggy? I see you in the chat, man. Thanks for coming in. That's another one of my Army battle buddies there, Brian, and he is a Laker guy like you through and through. But he's hurting right now. He don't have the confidence that you have.
You got to stay confident. Laker fan, Laker Nation, you got to stay confident. If you ain't confident, you don't need to be a Laker, baby.
You got to do something. But I mean,
we rolled through the waves, baby.
Well, I tell you what, Laker Nation, all you got to do is look to the east. You know what I'm saying? Look at the boys in green in B-Town, and they'll show you how it's supposed to happen.
Next topic.
Hey, before we move on, right?
Oh, we're not even moving on. We're
not moving on. I just want him to stop talking about that green stuff.
I'm bouncing back and forth because there's a couple players that I saw get drafted. I'm like, oh, okay. So the guy Bub Carrington from he played at St. Francis, and then he played at Pitt. Got drafted to the Trailblazers, and they traded him to the Wizards. Shorty, a 6'4" guard, can do it all, man. Definitely one to watch out for. He's with the Wizards, so there's a lot of basketballs down there to get shot because
right.
Time to develop.
You know what? You and I talked about this earlier, G. They're probably looking at him like he can be that replacement and be that next Bradley Beal type player there if he gets it going. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. So a couple weeks ago, Jalen Rose he put out a tweet maybe 3 weeks, a month ago. He put out a tweet basically saying American-born players, basically rough quote, get your stuff together because the jobs are getting fewer and far between. And basically what he was referring to is the influx of foreign-born players into the league, and they're taking up spots. And they're not taking up spots just to take them. They're taking them because they're earning them. And the systems that they come from and the way they're brought up in basketball is a different thing entirely from what our AAU system is doing. And so he mentioned that, and I remember I did a show about that, and a lot of people didn't agree with my commentary, but it's all good. But we saw last night how many Euros got drafted. The first 2 were from France. I think the first 3 out of the first 6 were French. 4 out of the first 12 were French, and then we saw Serbians. We know Serbia is a basketball hotbed.
I think it was Nikola.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, but yeah, so we're looking at this and we are seeing these guys are coming, man, and I don't know what the US is going to do in terms of their system. I think a big part of it is in America, the basketball developmental system for the most part is linked with school, right? high school basketball, and then if you're good enough, college basketball. And of course, you got the AAU, but in Europe and overseas, if you're good enough, you see guys 15, 16 years old, they're playing
grown men.
ball. Right. They're playing with grown
Absolutely.
men, and they're getting beat up and they're getting screamed on by their coaches, and they're practicing twice a day and learning skills. Meanwhile, over here, if you're a superstar, the coaches are afraid of you because if they get, if they coach you tough like the way they used to, well, you're just going to take your ball and leave and go to another program. So, what are you guys' thoughts? I know G, you did your thing on the court. What are you guys' thoughts on what we're seeing in terms of the foreign-born players really coming over here? And I'm not saying dominating the game, but if we're honest, what was it? Four out of the top 5 players in the league in MVP voting last year, foreign-born, I think. And was it the first
Doncic,
All-Pro was what?
Jokic,
Doncic, Jokic, Embiid, and Shea
was
Gilgeous. That's 4 out of
still
5.
in the ranking?
He wasn't in the MVP
He didn't
because
play
he missed too many games, but I
Yeah,
think
he would have been.
I guess he couldn't make he couldn't make All NBA either. But he won MVP the previous year. So anyway, what are you guys' takes on this international player thing and what's going on in the league? It looks like a totally different league than what we ever saw before.
Gee, I'll let you take that one.
So the way I see it is and I said this so many times, right? The league has a defense issue, right? Like there's an issue with players playing defense in the league. It's that instant offense that people want to see. We look back when the Spurs was dominating. They had several passes before they shot the ball, and you got to see people. How can I put this? You got to see the players actually showing that, hey, all right, it's more to basketball than just shooting, right? We don't wear the defense down. And I think if we had to, if we could, right, you go to that Spurs team with Ginobili and Tim Duncan and David Robinson and what's the point guard name, bro? Help me out.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker, right? And there's a couple other role players in between that, but they had a system. You saw them playing in a system where you don't get that anymore, right? You don't see that level of basketball IQ where you can break them down. Everything's happening so fast. It's like you just catch the ball 2 passes and you're going back down for somebody shooting a 3. And so that actually, I believe it is taken away from the game because there isn't time to develop the defense that's needed, right? Like you go to college, you learn how to play defense properly, spacing. These players just coming in and it's like it's Jacktown.
Oh yeah,
team shooting 42 threes a game, unheard of, right? But back to the question.
Hey, somebody won a chip doing that, but anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And so no shots at your guys, man. But it kind of I think it takes away from the game. It takes away from the game. But again, that's the model that the NBA started on, and now they're trying to reverse that model, right? Because they open the door for a lot of players. This is a cultural thing, right? Not playing defense is a culture thing in the NBA, and there's an issue you see in the All-Star game where they don't know how to get the players to kind of put the effort in the lockdown. We don't see the chippiness. We don't see players, walking back and forth. We don't see the friendly banter. We don't see any of it. Like, I think it's a lost art in the modern NBA right now. And we will continue to see these international players as we spread the league, spread that basketball, overseas and so forth. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't have anything against it. Like, I like Jokic.
Right.
My guy, he's a dog. And he talk crap to you, but it's like American, we don't have. There's no way that many international players should be going top 10, man. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this, man?
This
like who is these guys?
No, it's a fact. You left the door open and they're walking in your house now. And again, it's not a problem because they're earning these spots, but it's clear that these teams, these franchises are spending a lot of money scouting overseas. What we got, El Boogie? To me, European players going to take over the NBA because they got the fun. Yeah, facts. They know how to play.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you're 100% right because it's so funny when back in the day, like around the Dream Team time and immediately after that, one of the reps on the European players was that European players are soft and the ball over there is soft. Now they're saying that it's much more physical over there and the defense is better over there. I heard Giannis say it. Jokic said it. Luka said it. I did a segment on it a while back. All three of them dudes said that it's much easier to score in the NBA than it is in FIBA.
And Luka showed that quickly.
That's disgraceful.
Luka showed that quickly.
Yes, he did show that quickly. Right. That shouldn't be happening. What we got? Jay Willis, what's up, man? Thanks for
my boy Jay.
Days of American Players dominated.
That's a Navy guy right there, by the way, Bruce. So go ahead and respect this, man. Big Navy in the building.
What you trying to say, man?
Huh?
What you trying to say, man?
I mean, you came at me with the disrespect early with the Army stuff. Okay, so let me go ahead and put on for the Navy guys. Okay.
Okay.
You don't want to see us. You don't want to see us. You don't want to see us. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go on. Let me finish checking out Big Jay's comments. Man, appreciate you, Jay. Thank you for your service, brother. Days of American players dominating may be over. The game may be broadcasted in place in these big basketball markets that are showing the game to more eyes. Absolutely. So many. All right. I got you, brother. We appreciate you. Great point.
Go ahead.
Oh man, if I'd have known. But anyway, El Boogie, when I was in Germany, I watched the Europeans play, and they play like 80s and 90s and a couple of shots. We don't play like that no more. No, we don't. It's crazy. Nino, what's good? These guys play pro at 15. How can you compare that? Yeah, I think you must have missed it when
we stated
brought that up earlier when we were talking about how guys go pro at a much earlier age, and it helps their development in terms of playing the game. And again, I think one of the biggest things is our culture over here and not being able to coach guys hard. I think that's really problematic. But where's the other topic? My bad. So we got all this going on. We got a bunch of Europeans and foreign-born players going high in the draft and going in the draft overall. So I don't know, man. Somebody's got to figure this stuff out. And on the flip side too, we have so many guys coming out of college at a very young age, and these guys, a lot of them don't seem like they're ready. But how can you tell guys not to come get the money when the opportunity's there? For instance, like we just acknowledged, we all served, right? You can join the military at 16 with a parental signature. You can join the military at 18 by yourself, literally die for your country, kill someone else for your country. And so if those things can happen, then you should be able to, if you have a mercurial talent, you should be able to go and be able to maximize and monetize it. So I see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, man, it's to me, it's going to get more international if we continue down this road. The NFL did the same thing. You know, once they changed the rules, the viewers want to see offense. We want to see scoring. We want the ball in the basket. They want the ball in the end zone in the NFL. So I think it's doing the same thing. I believe the now that we threw some football in there, USA just lost to Japan.
Yeah. G and I were talking about that earlier. The International American Football League or whatever it is.
Yeah, that mentality over there, they don't have that. You know, we just want to see the ball score. We want to see the game of basketball be played. We want to see defense. We want to see a low-scoring game because nobody can get those shots off. You know what I mean? So I think those days like that, we're
that's long gone, and they're not. I don't think they're coming back. I think
we're passing them.
They're allowing a little more physicality, as we saw. I think that terrible All-Star game really pissed Adam Silver off. So as you saw through the playoffs, they're allowing a little more bumping, but it's never going to get back to what we saw. But to that quick note, when we saw back in the day somebody scored 30, we knew that was a real 30, right?
Oh, absolutely. You had to work.
Right. It's not like now. Like, okay, I shoot 10 threes, I make 6 of them. That's 18 right there. I get some BS foul calls. I go to the line. That's 6 more points right there. I get a couple layups. That's 30. And I'm not saying these guys today can't play. That's not what I'm saying. I'm sure it sounds like old head, get off my lawn, but it's a different thing. Melvin Lyons, El Boogie says the American players here want to be celebrities than athletes. This is a great point. European players want to be athletes, not celebrities. But see, the thing is, while I agree wholeheartedly with that, the other problem is you can monetize fame over here so easily, right? So, and these young people are being told to build your brand and bring your brand with you to whatever you do. Meanwhile, when we were growing up, it was master your craft and your brand will build around that. But now it's different. They're being told to build their brand first. So it's not all their fault. Jay Willis, you had another great comment here. It's hard telling guys who come from poverty to turn down the big money and stay to develop. Absolutely. And I wouldn't tell them that. I wouldn't tell them that. But at the same time, it's hurting the product. I've been a proponent of you should be able to come straight from high school if you want to. But if you go to college, you got to stay 2 years. That's my thought. Now, maybe you could apply for a waiver from the league if you want to leave early after one, if you have shown that you're that type of
if I'm that guy.
talent. Right, if I'm that guy. But I think that if you go to college, you got to stay 2 years. If you don't, you can come straight out of high school. I have no problem with that. Yeah, Boogie, that's what I'm talking about. That's my battle buddy right there. We were roommates in Iraq for a year. That's my battle right there. Yeah, definitely.
So what I see is right, like the top, you look at the first 10 picks, right? All of them scored under 20 points. Right? 1 year, a lot of them was one and done. Some of them was played overseas pro, but they all averaged under 20 points a game, right? And then you look at a player like Melo, right, who went in the league and was a superstar. He averaged over 20 points a game, and I think that's the difference maker right there, right? Like you have true scorers that get drafted first, and I mean you got superstars that get drafted after 1 year, and that averages above, the 20-point limit. Like this is the first time I've seen players get
so
drafted
many guys
into the NBA. Yeah, so many guys get drafted with little output on the court, right? Like that's you water down the talent pool that way, I think.
Yeah,
no, I definitely agree. All right, any last thoughts before we go ahead and open up these lines for the calls?
No, open them up.
All right, so you all know what time it is. If you're listening and you want to give your thoughts on this topic, whether it's Bronny James or whether it's the state of the NBA with the influx of international players or the state of this draft, dial the number 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. We want to hear from you. Let's get it.
I'm gonna need my Navy people. Don't curse like a sailor, okay? I know they come in here like, God darn it, dag. Yeah, calm down, fellas, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, they say curse like a sailor for a reason, right? That's
curse like a sailor for a reason. I curse sometimes, and people got a record. They're literally counting how many times I curse in the conversation.
You know what?
I was cursing like that. They were like,
I toned that down a lot over the last couple of years. I remember when we came home from Iraq, it was crazy. And the chaplain was like, "Okay, guys, you're back now. You can't be dropping F-bombs everywhere. Like, you're not in the box no more." Yeah.
What was that? The other day, me and you had a conversation when I was in the gym, and they were literally counting how many F-bombs I dropped. It was like,
there you go.
F-bomb limit, brother. I'm cursing like that.
There you go.
Hey, bring me in, bro. My bad.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So no calls on this topic. I'm surprised. Nobody has anything to say about Bronny James or the influx of European players or the state of the NBA or the state of this draft.
Going once, going twice.
All right. Before we move on to the next topic, let me go ahead and give you all the reminder. I didn't do it at the beginning, but let's do that. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio.
What's good, man?
How you doing, brother?
I got on late today. I didn't know if y'all covered this. I wanted to know, what do you think about as far as the international players? How much is that because of the evolution of the skills? Like, okay, say you had Tony Kukoc back in the day. I know you remember Tony.
I do.
I remember Tony Kukoc.
As far as okay, he was like one of the ones, but everybody. So how much more Dirk Nowitzki? He was one of the ones, but eventually you gotta think of how many people that's 16 that's playing basketball that's really working on their skills. So how much is it the evolution of the skills and overseas basketball? They see what's going on. Everybody want to be like Mike. How much is that? Is everybody getting much better skill wise? Why we got so many international players?
So that's kind of an interesting topic, which we could probably delve into a whole nother segment. But I really don't believe that the players today are that much more skilled. I really don't. They say that they're better ball handlers. They're really not. They're allowed to carry and travel. They say that they're better shooters. They're really not. They just shoot threes a lot more. They say that they're better skilled overall, yet you got point guards who can't make a post entry pass and quote unquote big men who can't get on the block and get you a basket by turning over their shoulder or doing an up and under or a jump hook. So all these supposedly superior skilled guys, and I'm not saying the players today are not skilled. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not definitive in my estimation at all that today's players are so much more skilled. And you mentioned Tony Kukoc, and then I'll hand it over to the guys. You mentioned Tony Kukoc. Tony was a problem. If he walked into the league today, how he walked into the league back then, he would be Luka. Tony Kukoc was Luka before Luka. And so I think, right. So I think it's a function of, like G always says, the total lack of defense now versus back then. Guys weren't going to let Tony Kukoc walk into the league and just do whatever he wanted to do. He was busy today. But gentlemen, you go ahead and take over, give your thoughts on what Nino had to say here.
To me, people forget the fundamentals, right? Everything, social media, everything is about, hey, you got that bag. Oh, let me see that bag. You know what I mean? What your handles look like, what your jump shot look like, can you dunk and things like that. But I think the overseas culture, they don't care about all that dribble, shoot. They don't care about that. They care about, okay, cool. How can we get an easier basket? Like the San Antonio Spurs, they're pass. Let's find an open guy, pick and roll, shift around, call a screen, hold down the block, kick it to the corner. They're more on that type of mentality when it comes to basketball. So our younger culture, it's all about, hey, what flashy move can I do to get the clicks? Yeah. What can I put on my Instagram? What can I put on my TikTok? You know, everything's social media driven, and that's how these guys are getting paid. So the guys like the Luka Doncic's and those guys that's coming into the league now, they're like, hey, wait a minute, y'all just here for dribble? Say less. Because I couldn't do that overseas. Them folks is clamping me up. They're all in my face. They're guarding me heavy. By the time y'all done with this dribble situation, you gassed on defense.
Right.
Like, okay, so guess what? I'm a bigger guy. I'm gonna put you in the post, put you in the block, and it's literally slower. If you look at Luka's game, it's slower, but it's a little bit more fundamental. Like, okay, I'm gonna put you off my shoulder, boom, little check, and I'm throwing the J up in your face. Nowadays, everybody wants to be Kyrie. Everybody wants to be Steph. Everybody wants to shoot from 35. Like, but can you shoot from 17?
Nope.
You know, if I put you open on the block, you right there at the top of the screen. Are you smart enough to knock down that 17-foot jumper, or you just waiting? You're gonna dribble, come in, bring it back behind the line. Now you're 30 feet. Oh, I can shoot that thing right there. It's Dame time. You know what I mean? So I think that's the problem when it comes to the international versus what we got coming out of our collegiate categories.
Gee, what's your thoughts, man?
I think it's a business model, right? The NBA is in the business of selling basketball and having that inclusion and representation across all these countries, right? Yao Ming, he went to the Hall of Fame. We was talking about this earlier. He went to the Hall of Fame for selling jerseys, right? He was a bucket. However, first ballot Hall of Fame is wild. Like,
that's wild.
Yeah, that's wild. And so, it's just making sure that as far as like American players, I think the ball is in their court, right? Because every time you have an international player that come in the league, it should be an American player ready to bust his ass. Use my language.
No,
but at the same time, right? Like it is what it is. That's the day. That's how the game is set up now. And the folks that created this game, or the silvers of the game, commissioners, GMs, they looking to expand their brand overseas. And so how do you do that? You draft the NBA player from France and you know what I'm saying, and all these other places. It almost remind me of Tropic Thunder, right? I don't know if everybody's seen the movie Tropic Thunder.
That's a classic.
That's a classic, right? That's a classic. But I don't know, man. You guys gotta stand up, man, and maybe they are.
Did we have to? Can we just say you had to bust their ass? Because if you look at most of the Europeans or whatever, they tall but they big man. Like, so how difficult was it? Y'all played ball in US even when I was playing in my little school, you was 6'3", or if you was considered a center or power forward, you couldn't shoot threes. That was illegal. You had to carry to the basket.
Right.
So if these guys coming over here with guard skills, playing big man positions like Dirk, but they moving like Jokic. You gotta be a little different to go at that now. That's something different. That ain't normal. That ain't normal activity like old man basketball.
No,
yeah, but it's two sides to it. It's also two sides to the basketball, right? Like, yeah, he gonna get his, but you gotta make sure that you're gonna get yours as well.
Right.
I'm just speaking when I'm thinking about this. Immediately, I'm thinking about Devin Booker when he played against Luka, and Luka just kept trashing him, and we got nothing from Devin. Matter of fact, I haven't heard from Devin Booker since. That's like 2 years ago.
And
right?
what was the post? He looked at him like,
I
think
he had like 49 in the closeout game.
Good.
Devin Booker can still go, man.
Because what did Devin Booker make fun of? The flop? I think it was a flop that Luka did.
Yeah, these boys better get in the lab.
Then boy Luka gave that boy that work.
Yeah, no, it's a totally different game, and I think, and not to co-opt it, but remember we talked about the All-Star game and what can Adam Silver do. I think really the only fix to this, you got to get the pride back for the American players, and the way to do that is get this U.S. versus international All-Star game, because if they get beat, you're going to see they're going to make the change.
We got enough players now.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. All right, Nino, you got anything else for me, man?
Oh, no, that's all. I just want to get y'all perspective on that.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you calling, man. Stick around. We got some good stuff tonight.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. All right. We're going to go ahead and move to the next topic, and we're going to stay here with the Lakers, Mr. Transform. We're going to stay here with your boys, and man, this one here. Woo-hoo. So this has a lot of different tentacles to it, man. This whole JJ Redick thing, right? So obviously we know JJ Redick is the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is weird because I listened to the entire press conference and I cut some pieces, and it's got some different things going on, and then there's controversy. JJ Redick is learning real fast, and when you're the head coach of this team, the controversy is going to come out. It's going to find you right away. So there's that, and then there's people concerned about his lack of experience, etc. So there's just so much stuff. So let's start here. I want to. Kenny Smith was being interviewed, and they asked him about JJ Redick and him getting the job. So he had an interesting perspective I kind of hadn't thought of. So check this out.
I think it was interesting. However, I don't think it's out of the question. You think about it, basketball is the only place where, how many years did JJ play? 12 or something like that? You can play 12 years and they say that doesn't count as experience. He's been in multiple practices. He's been in multiple places. He understands the dynamics of the game. Can you lead? That's the difference between only being able to coach. So no, I'm not one of those that go, oh, he doesn't have the experience because he played in the NBA for 12 years. I worked at IBM for 12 years and I quit. They're going to make me a senior advisor for every company in the world. So he has the knowledge, but does he have the leadership quality to lead a guy like LeBron and AD? That's going to be his biggest challenge.
I totally agree with that. So let's start with the guest. First, what did you think of JJ Redick's comment? JJ Redick. What did you think of Kenny Smith's comments right there? And then we'll give our thoughts, and then we'll continue to get into some different aspects of this whole JJ Redick hiring.
Well, when you want to say things like, okay, how long he's been in the league? 12 years. He has the experience. We can say that about a lot of players. A lot of players. So to me, like the signing of the JJ Redick, it's like, okay, but what have you done from a coaching level? There's a big difference between having that experience in the league and playing the game. You know the X's and O's. But you're not on the court no more. You're not on that court providing those X's and O's, calling those type of plays, signaling those screens. You're not playing the game. Can you coach and lead the others under you to now do what you have in your mental on that said court? Can you face that backlash? Can you, check a LeBron James and be like, hey, yo, Bron, no, we're not running that play.
Nope.
Like, what are you doing? Like, let's move on to here. So from a leadership perspective, Kenny's right. Like, what have you done as a leader? Like, JJ Redick has a lot of good qualities. Great shooter, great player. You know what I mean? Can defend himself. You watch him on ESPN all the time. Like he's very, very passionate about the game. You look at him on the podcast with LeBron James. He was very, very passionate about the game. I can have a lot of passion all I want.
Yeah.
Can I coach those 12 guys on that floor when it comes to playoff time? Am I bold enough to like, hey, let's call that? Hey, you ride the bench. We're calling this play. We're gonna send this set in. We're running this type of set. Can I hold y'all in or reel y'all in when we're doing bad or we're down 10? Let's gather up. Let's come up with this strategy and implement it like that. There's a difference. You know what I mean? Like 12 years of experience in the NBA. Okay, well, you can say that about 80% of the league. You know, are they all qualified to be first-time coaches with no coaching experience? You know, that doesn't.
So can I push back a little bit? I'm not the JJ Redick defender in this case, but let me push back a little bit. They're gonna say he's a really smart guy. He knows the game. He went to Duke. He played under Coach K. So any coaching issues that he may run into, not necessarily in game, of course, but he can always reach out to one of the greatest who's ever done it to get advice, which he's already, said that
he's done that. Yeah, he's done that already.
Right. So we know that. So there's that. Those things I think could possibly help. G, your thoughts, man?
So I look at the Kenny Smith statement as a way to continue to keep the door open for those ex-players who moved to the booth to start doing analyst work and then move to coaching. Like, he's not qualified to be a coach. And at the middle, towards the end of the season, when the Lakers find themselves in a situation when they're not in, he's going to be the Achilles heel because he lacked the experience to be a real coach. But from Kenny's standpoint, I think he was just trying to keep the door open because he applied for coaching jobs as an analyst. And of course, he's going to support JJ because he sees JJ in himself. No Diddy. So it kind of continues to push the narrative from his standpoint that, hey, look, we can coach as well. Like, we're analysts, we know the game. That's our strong point. But when it comes to coaching personnel, and as we saw in the previous show, where he talked about those things that you can't change, right? As a player, that you need the coach to help you with, like that he won't get that from JJ Redick. Like those young players won't be able to evolve because of the output. This is he went to Duke and been a mastermind, but at the same time, until you are actually on that sideline with a clipboard and you find yourself in a game-winning situation and you drawing up a play, but the lack of experience on making sure that you tell these players, hey, look, make sure you double tap when you pass the ball in, right? Like the coaching, it should never stop. And without that, it never stops when you playing the game. You coach it from the time the whistle blow, the tip ball to the last buzzer, and he doesn't have that. And I think at the end of this season, we'll see him on the hot seat because of his lack of experience.
Yeah, I think I think that's a great point. One of the biggest things I've been concerned with since I heard it was announced that he was a major candidate for this position, obviously, is what happens when LeBron needs to be rebuked or reprimanded. The only coach that's been able to get away with that in 22 years is Coach Kerr, and that's because he had Pat Riley behind him.
Yeah, Pat Riley.
Right. Nobody has been able to do that. So what are you going to do? Yeah. And even let's put LeBron to the side, because I guess LeBron in all cases is just a totally different case. So let's put him to the side. Anthony Davis is one of the best players in the world. Is he going to be able to check Anthony Davis if something goes wrong? No. So then he's not going to be able to reprimand either of those two. Then what happens when he's got to reprimand the fifth or the sixth guy on the roster, right?
You didn't check Bron.
Right, exactly.
You didn't check AD.
Exactly. You let them do
coming at me for.
Right, exactly.
That's
what it's going to be. So now he's going to have that problem. So what's it going to be? Is he always going to have to turn to LeBron like, LeBron, help me? Is LeBron always going to have his back? Like we talked about, what if he has to reprimand Bronny? Big problem right there. And he also knows, Bruce, what's up, my G? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Then he also knows, though, that in a situation where if it should come to Bronny, we know which side LeBron is leaning. But JJ is also not stupid if things start going downhill, he has to know he will be that sacrificial lamb, as is everybody else when they deal with LeBron. So this is problematic, man. Sam Cassell is more qualified. This is LeBron power. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm 100% with you, Bruce. There's no question.
It was plenty of other options out there.
Yeah. No doubt. Now, I will say, had Dan Hurley took that money and took that job, then we wouldn't be having this discussion, right?
Not at all. We'll be talking about championships, baby.
So I totally get that. but no, I think this is going to be a very interesting situation, and we got a whole lot more to discuss. So we just talked about LeBron and how JJ is going to deal with that. And so I've got some clips from the initial press conference that they held the other day. So let's hear what JJ had to say about LeBron and his involvement or lack thereof in this whole coaching hire situation.
And then, Rob, one for you specifically. Obviously, JJ and LeBron, they have had a podcast going since March. Even if it wasn't direct conversations with LeBron, how, if it did that podcast factor into the process of the interview and all of it?
I think at the core of a really good NBA head coach, one of the core necessities, especially with today's player, is communication. And I think JJ is one of the best basketball communicators out there, period, hard stop. Anyone that's paid attention to what he's done and built and his interaction with players and coaches and executives, he's special at that. In terms of the involvement with our captains with this coaching search and the coaching process, I think, you're asking a question about LeBron. He was very supportive of our organization in this process. And that's a different word, and I want to be mindful of the word, than involved. So I would say it again. LeBron was very supportive of us and our process, but chose not to be heavily involved, and we respected that. Anthony Davis, our other captain, chose to be very involved and was very involved. I talked to him throughout the process and got a lot of help and wisdom from him. And he was very excited for today.
And JJ, it's obviously no secret that you have a very close relationship with LeBron. He could have done a podcast with anybody in the world. He chose to do it with you. What was his advice to you throughout this whole coaching search process?
He didn't provide any advice. LeBron and I did not talk about the Lakers job until Thursday afternoon, about 30 minutes after I was offered the job. And that was very intentional on both our parts. I knew I had an understanding that he did not want to be involved in this. And for me, I didn't want to go down the path of hypotheticals with someone that I consider a friend and someone that I have a great amount of respect for. So for us, it just came down to literally Thursday afternoon. And I talked to him for about 15, 20 minutes and got off the phone. That was it.
All right, so let me start with this. So first, you notice the verbiage they used. They were very careful in terms of
it was
right. They were very careful. Yeah, in the wording there. And I'll tell you, in fairness to JJ Redick, you can tell he's extremely media savvy. Obviously, having worked in the media, major sports media for the last 3 or 4 years now. Mm-hmm. So he knows how to handle questions, how to manipulate them, and he's sitting there, and both him and Rob Pelinka just lied to us very, very smoothly and very easily. That was crazy. Like, think about it. When JJ Redick was there saying, that LeBron wasn't involved, did you hear the reporter in the background go, ah? Because he knew, he's like, you can't be serious right now expecting us to believe this. Like, yeah, that was absurd. Like, we know LeBron had involvement in that. Like, I mean, I guess you theoretically can't say it, but I don't know why you can't say it, because LeBron and Rich Paul made it clear that Clutch runs the Lakers. So why couldn't you just say it? Everybody knows it. Y'all said it publicly. So what's the problem?
Yeah, he definitely.
Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
Oh no. He definitely wrote that letter of recommendation, man. This. If you want me to sign here, you want me to stay here the rest of my career, I'm gonna pick the coach. You will draft my son, and I'm gonna have total input on who y'all put, what product y'all put on the sideline next to. He was mad about the Dalvin Ham hire. You could tell, like, clutch games. It was like, hey, we gotta win out in order to get to the playoffs. they not listening to this, man. They was not listening to him. You seen
Not at all.
LeBron with the clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
You seen
Champion
D'Lo
number 5.
over there, not even in the huddle. You know,
But
Westbrook did the same thing, wasn't in the huddle. Like,
yeah, just
you
walked away while Darvin Ham was still talking. Like, what are you gonna do if you're, championship number 5? Christopher, what's up, man? What's championship number 5?
Number 5?
Yeah, tell us what that is in the chat. We're not sure what.
LeBron's chip, probably. That's probably
he can't be.
Yeah.
You serious right
Chris,
now, bro?
I'm a Laker fan, bro. If it have been Dan Hurley.
And so I'm gonna let you have that, B. But come on, man, that don't even sound right. But that's okay. Yeah, I was amazed in listening. The way how easily and how smoothly they were just lying to us just like that. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, he said LeBron. He said it in the chat. All right, AJ Jenkins. Been unfair to say he's not capable of coaching. Why was it? Okay, so here's the deal, right? Let's talk about Nash and Kidd. So first, Nash and Kidd are both Hall of Fame point guards, which means they were already leaders on the floor. And JJ Redick was never that. JJ Redick,
but they were part of staff
for his career, right? Say again.
They were on staffs.
That's true too. They were assistants before they got head coaching
jobs.
That's true. And JJ Redick has none of that. Great point, B. Great point.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson, another guy who is a leader as a point guard. What's he? 4th all time in assists in NBA history. So he's up there. Larry Bird. We know he's one of the greatest players of all time. Where you have him, most people have him top 10. I think I have him number 4, but that's a different story. But Larry Bird also had, that's another thing. So he had what? He had Rick Carlisle on his staff, which is a great assistant, and Dick Harder. So he had great assistants on his staff. So JJ Redick, not going to be able to do it. But good question. El Boogie, I have faith once LeBron retires. I agree. I think the
JJ
problem
won't be around. He won't be around that long.
they really sold their souls.
How many we gave him 4 years? I think we gave him a 4-year deal.
They gave him 3 more years. LeBron, right?
No. JJ
Redick's got 4 years, $32 million. That's his deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They gonna eat that.
Kidd and Nash wasn't on staff. No, Jason Kidd, he was an assistant. I can't remember where.
Milwaukee, I believe.
I think so. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then Steve Nash was an assistant on Golden State staff. That's why he got the job in Brooklyn, because Kevin Durant vouched for him.
Come on, Nino, bro. I'm believing you, bro. Do your research. They were on the sidelines already. Come on, Nino.
But yeah, so you're looking at that and you're saying like, damn, man, this is a problem. So you got these dudes already lying from the beginning, right? So that's a problem. So then we talked about it a little earlier in terms of his coaching influence, which I think is going to be a big thing. Him being able to lean on the lessons that he learned from Coach K, and again, always being able to immediately get to Coach K in terms of helping him and guiding him and teaching him. Now he's got to be his own man and do things his own way for the most part, but Coach K, I think, is a very big influence. So he had some comments to say in the press conference about that as well. So let's check it out.
20 years ago, while you were at Duke, the Lakers tried to pry Mike Krzyzewski away from Cameron Indoor to be here. What did Coach K tell you in regards to maybe looking back at that, or just this job opportunity in general?
Coach has, since 2004, has had a great relationship with the Lakers and the Buss family. He was very complimentary of the organization. And he was very helpful throughout this process. It started, I didn't know Coach had like Google alerts, or I don't know how he gets his news, but I guess somebody tipped him off that, I was potentially interviewing for Charlotte. So I was literally flying back from a game and landed at LaGuardia, and we talked for 30 minutes that night. Ultimately did not do the full interview there and kind of put that coaching thing on pause. And then this opened up, and Coach throughout the process was very helpful in terms of just me navigating the interview process, Rob and I's communication, all of this stuff. Like, Coach was great. He still is, like, I've told the young guys this. I've talked to nearly every player on the phone. Some guys are ducking my calls. It's okay. But like Jalen and Maxwell, they were like, "Hey, coach," and I'm like, "I'm not comfortable with that. Please call me JJ." You know, there's one person in my life that I played for that I call coach, and that's Coach K. Like, he's still that to me.
So definitely had to put this up there. Appreciate you, L Boogie. Thank you, man. I know that hurt you, but it's all good. You like that? You like that, B? Real quiet over there, bro. All right, let's get back to it. Russell Permal says, why was he hired over Monty Williams? I think personally with that situation, that
it came too late.
That's what I was about to say.
It came too late. Yeah.
It was a timing thing. Yeah. I think Monty Williams could have got the job if it didn't happen at that juncture that he got let go from Detroit. I think it was just a timing thing. Nothing else.
Yeah. I think like Monty was fired, and like we announced it 3 days later or 2 days later that JJ was fired.
I think they were
at
pretty
that
much
point,
wrapped up.
After the Dan Hurley thing, once Dan Hurley didn't sign, JJ was already there. By that time that Monty Williams thing came about, Lakers was shocked, and it was like, damn, we already told JJ he's getting this job. So
yeah, we can't go back with him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So I love the fact though that JJ is willing, he's not too arrogant to lean on Coach K, you know, who is one of the best to ever do it, and learn a lot from him. So I think that's going to be a very good resource for him. So yeah. So let's go to G. Do you have anything on that, on JJ Redick and Coach K?
Nah.
There you go. And you know what? Say again.
I think it's more of what these guys do on the court at this point.
True.
You know,
it's a lot of no's and
no's. Yeah. At the end of the day, the Lakers fell short because the players fell short. We see they wasn't involved because the players
fell short.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. They didn't buy into what their previous coach, the players that he put forth. They didn't buy into that. So we got to see what product they put on the court and if they can actually win with that product. Right now, I don't see it with this current roster, and so. You know, JJ Redick might find himself as a scapegoat at the end of the season. He's really good at pushing narratives. I'll say that. Extremely good at pushing narratives.
He's a media guy. He knows how it works.
First take, he learned that.
Yes, he is a major media guy. He understands it. Like, if you, for anybody listening who's a basketball fan and you haven't seen the press conference, go on YouTube and watch the whole press conference, and you can see how easily he controls the questions, how he answers what he wants to answer and doesn't, or redirects questions and redirects things. Like, he's very, very astute in terms of the media, and that's going to be a good thing for him, being that he did the job, so he sees what's coming. But it's also going to be a bad thing for him because it's going to get to a point where people realize, like, why does this dude keep ducking the questions that we're asking him? But he's very slick in his verbiage and the way he handles things. You can see it. So he also got asked during the press conference why he wanted to coach, and I thought he gave very cogent but also very interesting response on that. So let's check that out, and then we'll come back.
JJ, to retire after a long, successful career, a lot of athletes, it's a tough transition. You were able to quickly parlay that into a successful podcast venture, obviously broadcasting the NBA Finals. With that going in your direction, like, that could have been what you did the next 20 years. Why did you decide that coaching was what you wanted to do in your basketball life?
It was really after I interviewed for the Toronto job last year that I knew that I wanted to be a head coach in the NBA. And so the last year, I spent a lot of time talking to coaches, talking with GMs, picking their brains. I am very fortunate that I have a small circle of people that are currently working in the NBA that I am friends with, that I can confide in, that can help me. And the further I got into those conversations, the further I got into my own sort of journaling about coaching, thinking about it, envisioning it. Rob and I talked about this a ton. I just felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, I brought it up, like, I have zero coaching experience in the NBA, but I would argue that I'm very experienced. And it started 22 years ago when I went to Duke, and I got to play for Coach K for 4 years, spent 15 years as a player. Honestly, the last 3 years have been invaluable in preparing me for this moment, being able to connect to players, talking to them on the podcast, being in coaching interviews with ESPN, calling games, analyzing the game in 3 different formats. All of that has helped prepare me to be an NBA head coach.
So I thought that was a very good answer, very well crafted. Clearly, he knows. His experience is there in the media, and he knows what how these questions are coming and how they're going to be presented, and he handled it well. Quick side note for everybody: if you're in here, appreciate you watching. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, please go ahead, click that like button, and go ahead, click that share button too.
Click that like button.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this out to as many people as possible, so we get more people in here, more interaction, and we can share the show and help it grow.
And light up that chat, man. Light up that chat.
look like we got another one of your peoples right here.
Okay, my boy. What's going on, my doggy?
All right.
I'm happy to do my last one. That's kind of crazy, but I salute, Bo. Salute. Appreciate the love.
Yeah. What you got, G? You were saying something?
Nah, I'm good. The only thing I think with his comment was, it was genuine. He's definitely going to talk up his stock, right? But to say that because I played for Coach K and I got X amount of years experience as a player, average 12 points a game, I'm that guy. That won't be enough. That West is deep. There's a lot of dogs in that West. And bottom line, the players the fans only want to see you win, right? And so they only going to take so much of the noise before they start turning against you, right? Like just like we saw last year.
You can't sugarcoat Laker Nation long, bro.
You gotta bring championships.
Very
you gotta
impatient.
bring championships.
That's what they're about.
Very impatient. Very impatient.
Right.
We need results.
Yeah, maybe if you get Coach K to come out and be his assistant coach, we might have faith in him. But until then, nah, man.
Yeah. So L Boogie wants to know who's going to be on the staff, and we're not
Rondo.
Even sure about that. I was about to say there's Rondo. I really don't like that. I really don't like that. I know you loved it
because he was a C. Because he was a what's that? Celtic. He was a Celtic. Wasn't he a Celtic at one point in time?
So I think
Lost in Celtic.
No, I think Rondo would be a great assistant for JJ Redick, because like we talked about, all those other guys who were elite point guards in terms of the leadership, right? And I also think, if you ask me, I think among players, I think Rondo is going to be more respected than Redick is. I really do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's the problem, man. Redick come in with a certain attitude that I don't know. Jay Willis says Sam Cassell is rumored to do it too. Now, if I'm Sam Cassell, I do not take that. There's no way. I put 15 years. I'm a 4-time champ. I put in all these years as an assistant. I'm not coming working under you and you. Nah, I won't do it.
Yeah, that's not gonna look good for Sam.
No, it's not.
It won't look good for Sam.
Appreciate you, Edward Jackson. Appreciate that, brother.
That's my brother, man. That's my real brother, boy. Shout out Eddie.
No doubt. Ed, man, go ahead, click that like button on YouTube, man. Click that like button and click that share. Get it out to more people so you can see your man Brian transform. Rondo, a great basketball mind, especially defensively. Absolutely. That's
Navy in the building.
It's look like we getting outnumbered here, G.
Oh, you knew. Hey,
got a lot of sailors.
We were gonna pull up, okay? We're man and strong, okay?
But hey, it only take a couple soldiers, brother. we got 3 of them right here that can handle business. But so just looking at this, man, I think Rondo definitely a great mind. Well, so here's the deal. What sense does that make? Rondo has no coaching experience. The difference is, like I was saying, Christopher, 1, Rondo was a leader as an elite point guard, so there's that. And then 2, he wouldn't be the head coach, he'd be an assistant, so he'd be putting in his time as an assistant. JJ Redick walked in and gets the job as the head coach, and there's a big difference between an assistant and a head coach. And so I think that's where our issue is in terms of the lack of experience. And I'm telling you,
I think go ahead.
Go ahead.
And he don't have no chips.
Exactly.
No.
That's what I was about
got
to
no
get.
chip.
Rondo has played at that highest level on two of the greatest franchises
That's
in
correct.
NBA history.
And one
he
with
went
both
on
of
their
them.
team and he won. He was a major cog in those championship teams. So he's been at the highest level. So he knows to come at JJ like, yo, look, we're gonna flip this. You know what I'm saying? This is the way we need to move, you know.
And now think about this. When he was in Boston, he's playing with Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. When he's in LA, he's playing with LeBron and Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard and these guys. He's been around a lot of talent. He knows what to do and how to lead. So I'm much more confident in Rondo coaching than I am in JJ Redick. That's me.
I agree. Especially from, I mean, if you're gonna have two players, you at least have somebody who's seen a confetti drop, right? Versus somebody who never played in he don't know what it feels like. He's never been there. So
oh, Boogie.
Got to help his man because
soup sandwich. That's a fact. He definitely ate up like a soup sandwich right now. Hey, OG, I just thought about Drill Sergeant Riley, bro. Oh my gosh. I think he went to Warren Officer School too. I believe so. But yeah, so say again.
Talking about Melvin? He went to Warren?
No. Me and G was in our basic training together. One of our drill sergeants. He went and became a warrant officer a little after that. But yeah, so no, I totally get it, and I definitely like the idea of Rondo as an assistant to JJ Redick. I think he could help him a lot. I think that would be a really beneficial move. All right, let's go on because we still got some more stuff with this JJ Redick thing. So here's the thing, right? JJ Redick, we heard how well he speaks, how well he manipulates the questions, and how good of a job that he did in the press conference. But big issue, a lot of people took issue with this. JJ Redick dropped a couple of F-bombs in the thing. So if you're listening to the show, you got kids around, just send them out for about a minute and a half here.
JJ, clearly with The Guardian. First of all, sorry, right in front of you. First of all, happy birthday. Second of all, what misconceptions or concerns about you that you've heard in the last few weeks are you the most looking forward to dispelling when you're the coach?
It's a valid question, and I've certainly heard everything. It's been a really interesting 6 weeks or so, just in terms of being part of the engagement farming industry. It's been really interesting. However, I don't really have a great answer for your question because I really don't give a fuck. Honestly, I want to coach the Lakers. I want to coach the team. I don't want to dispel anything. I don't. I want to become a great coach in the NBA, and I want to win championships, and I want my players to maximize their careers. That's all I fucking care about.
All right, so again, we're all military personnel here.
That was my highlight.
We are all very familiar with profanity, right? However, this is your opening press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you feel the need to speak that way? And it's very interesting that he got away with it, and there was relatively little pushback. And I'm going to say something here. I'm going to go a place I don't normally go, right? I'm not the guy that pulls the race card. I'm not. But if that was a black head coach, first time, no experience, sitting up there in his introductory press conference, dropping F-bombs like that, I guarantee you he would have been fried for it. That would not have gone over so calmly, especially in speaking to a female reporter, right? Remember, we've had other instances where people spoke to female reporters and they didn't speak to them in a way that everyone thought was befitting of speaking to a female reporter, and it didn't go well. So why is this okay for JJ Redick to behave in this fashion? I didn't like it at all. What were your thoughts on it?
Oh, you want me to go first? Are you sure? Because I loved it.
I knew
okay?
You were gonna say that.
I loved it. I need some type of fire. Enlighten me, motivate me to make me believe, okay, you're gonna come in with that dog mentality. You already don't have the experience. Media is already on your behind about you're not having the coach's experience. You're taking other, rightful coaches' jobs and all that. I want to feel your anger on that type of topic, on the fact that you don't have it. Like, okay, let me prove it. All right, shut the rest of that stuff up. Let me wait till you see the product that I put on the court. Let me do some action before you start coming at me with certain type of questions, certain type of labels and things like that. Make Laker Nation feel like okay, yeah, shut the F up. We want to let's see what you can do. Let me see you put the product on the floor. I get what you're saying about it could have been a different story, whether it had been a black coach. I think if Rondo would have dropped an F-bomb, I would feel the same way. Rondo would have got
feel this. You would feel the same way. You would feel the same way. Do you think America and the mainstream media would feel the same way?
It coming from Rondo, I think they would have. I think you would have let this slide.
I disagree.
Yeah. Okay.
I disagree.
We can't hear you, brother.
So I agree with Transformer. He definitely been taking a lot of heat from his peers, those from the media standpoint. And so, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, all right, great. So he definitely been taking a lot of criticism from his peers based off of inexperience, and he did let it fly, right? But much to Bruce's point, I'm not sure that's what they was looking for, right? We was looking for him to answer the question and answer it in an intelligent manner because he's a leader of men now, right? Before he was a player that was being led, and now it's he's taxed with bringing a chip to one of the arguably the greatest players that ever played the game, right? So there's a tremendous amount of pressure that's surrounding him, and for him not to have a particular answer to questions and opting out using F-bombs, right? Like just get straight to it. Just straight to it. Like everybody, I just came here to coach, right?
Like let me do my job first.
Right, but what are you saying to that young kid who's looking up to you, that's a diehard JJ Redick fan, it's probably like a handful of them, right? What are you saying to them? Like, so he has to be mindful of the language that he used, but also, at the end of the day, if you don't bring them championships home, you got all the tools according to the LeBronites and all of us other Lakers fans. Like you got to cash in your chips at the end of the season, and if you don't do it, you're gonna find yourself a scapegoat. I've been saying it since the beginning. I don't see it at the midway point. If they don't make some moves, right? There's a lot of rumors of him bringing in Spider. We'll see. Like if they can bring in another superstar, maybe two more superstars, right, for LeBron, then maybe, right. But I don't think they get it done with the personnel that they have right now. That's pretty much.
No, I hear what both of y'all are saying on that, and there's some points to both. I get that. As a Laker fan, you love the fire. I totally get that, but you don't find it funny, and I guess juxtapose how he was answering all these questions, how he seems so calm, and how he's again trying to manipulate it, and the way he's speaking, and he just seems so smooth, and then boom, F-bombs like that doesn't match up. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Yes.
And this is where I'm gonna agree with Fox and Millie, bro. Salute. You're absolutely right. I do not mind being a little biased when it comes to how JJ dropped these F-bombs, sir. Look, I didn't like any part of that conference where he was being more stand-up-ish, politically right. Let's talk with our E's and our R's. Let's make sure, we're dotting our I's and we're crossing our T's. F that. Laker Nation.
No.
We need lifting. We need lifting, bro. Sir. We need lifting.
But you got to understand, it's not just about Laker Nation and fans, the passionate, diehard fans like you. I respect that, no doubt. But what is it also about? Corporate sponsors, right? We always talk about it's a business, and you talking about the money earlier, right? It's about the corporate sponsors and being the face, right? It's being the face of the organization between the players and the front office. So you got to be that guy. And so, listen, again, I don't want to seem like I'm hung up on profanity. I've heard some of the most ridiculous profanity you can hear. So it's not necessarily that, but in the position that he's in, I thought he could have done better. Like if you're Bob Knight and you got a bunch of chips and you're cursing because you spazzing out, you get away with that. Even if you're Belichick, and we haven't seen him do that, but if you're Belichick, you got a bunch of chips and you want to curse, as long as it's not crazy, okay, I get it. But
Believe
Belichick
Belichick
in that
first.
position that you're in. Say again.
You don't belong in that conversation. You got to keep Belichick out of that conversation.
I was just making the example that when you have the
example.
championships to back it up, or okay, Coach Pop, when you're in that position, then you could talk that way. You know what I mean? Do you all feel the same way when the players speak in that manner? So I feel the same way if you're a player that's like the face of the team, right? And you go in front of the press and whatnot, control yourself. Now I get it if they catch you like right in the heat of the moment after a big win or a tough loss, like it could happen. I get that. I get that. But in general, I think
players, people are allowed to be emotional.
yes,
You know,
yes.
you're allowed to be emotional. Like I said,
But
when you
JJ
get
Redick
tired,
wasn't emotional at that point just now.
how do we
He
know?
seemed very calm. It almost seemed calculated the way he used those F-bombs. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. They will have the sponsors regardless. It's the Lakers. No, I understand that they will have the sponsors. What I'm saying is be that example. That's all I'm saying. But it is what it is. Again, I'm not I know it sounds like I'm really packing. I just think in the position that he's in, especially in his introductory press conference, I find it problematic that he would move like that. I just do. So here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing. So we know that we talked about how the Lakers are the glamour franchise of the NBA. There's no question about it, right? Right. Celtics are the better franchise in the NBA. But the Lakers are the glamour franchise in the NBA, right?
We're not gonna go into that.
No, we're not gonna go into that because you already know.
I'm gonna let you on your high horse right now. Y'all won your yay. Move on.
Right.
Continue,
so
sir.
right. So here's the thing though. When you're in a major position in an organization like that, like we see with the Lakers going on here, now all of a sudden stuff starts coming out or stuff starts coming at you. They start finding these things, right? So now we got a situation where JJ Redick is being accused of using the N-word on a black woman while he was in college at Duke. This is crazy. I didn't know anything about this.
Me
and
either.
the timing to me seems very odd, right? So here's the tweet. I've only been called the N-word one time to my face by a white man once in my life, and it was on the campus of Duke University while I was doing work with the basketball team. And today he was named the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. What a world. So I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not. But my question is,
show me the proof.
Well, I mean, I guess you can't prove it now, right? But if that is the case, why do you wait? What is it, 20 years later? Like, what's up with that?
He's already had a whole NBA career.
Right.
He's on public network on ESPN.
Right.
Podcast with LeBron James. I mean, the moment he got the podcast with LeBron James, you could have said it then.
True.
You could have said it then. But you know,
I think he was a nobody before then, though. He was a nobody before.
But what is she gaining by this now, though? Like, is she filing a civil suit? No. Like, what's the point of bringing this out now, even if it is true? What's the deal
It could
with
have been one of those things where it was already out there, right? However, mainstream media never had wind of it. Now you take this position as a head coach, and now all you're
all over it.
Yeah, it's all over. Everything that's coming out. Has he ever used the N-word? Is he racist? And I'm sure the NBA, who does a really good job of their research and or investigations, they found this and they brought this to the forefront. And so he'll probably settle. She'll probably settle. He'll send her some money. He did go back and say he never said that.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, his representative said
she got it in emails. That means she got receipts.
True.
This will probably be, pushed under the rug with a little bit of cash. But
So this was interesting. While I was looking this thing up, I found a tweet from somebody named Dwan B on a tweet, an X, whatever you want to call it. And his tweet was, I remember this story when it happened. My wife was a student at Duke when JJ was there. Dude, campus stories. They just did a really good job of protecting him and not letting his BS get out. Now, we know that a lot of times big time athletes in college get away with a lot and they cover it up. Again, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not. I wasn't there. I have no idea. But for me, the timing is just really, really sounds iffy. And I'm like, there's no reason for that at all. Like, I don't get it. Like, why you would bring it out now? But to your point, G, I guess he's at his most visible point that he's ever been
and
at.
he just got a deal. You just signed a new deal. You know,
Right.
the money's coming in, so you know he's clocking those checks, even though
but
LA
he was
tax
making
is
more
taking
money
it.
in the NBA than he is as a coach. He was making more money as a player.
But he making $8 million a year?
He's making $8 million a year. He made more money than that as a player, as a quality role player. Yeah. So you could have been getting this money from him. So I really don't know what the deal is with that. And
but would he be under the same pressure though? Like like back when he played in the league, like, okay, it's JJ Redick. All right, that's just a sidebar. You're the face of the Lakers now. Like you can't run from this. Can't nobody you know what I mean? You see what I'm trying to say? So back when he was a player, like you're not on the cameras all the time. You're not.
That's true, especially as a role player.
Yeah, as a role player now, you're the face of the Lakers franchise from a coaching perspective. Hit that button.
right.
The time to file my lawsuit and put my allegation out there. They just
What
made
does this
$100
do?
million his whole career as a player. Respected. Oh no,
He was no, it's not
that's
that.
a whole
What he's
$150
saying
million
is
more than what I make.
right. So what he's saying is that JJ made more money as he's agreeing that JJ made more money as a player than he's going to make as a coach.
I guess another question would be like, what does this do to his locker room, right? Knowing that your coach has racist allegations against him.
Yeah, right.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, that's a whole nother hill that he has to climb. Like,
that's true. Because somebody gonna come to him like, "Yo, coach, did you say that?
Did you say that?
Is that what you think of us?
Like, keep it 100. You know how they gonna come to him? Like, keep it 100. Did you?
So what if he kept it 100 and he said, "Listen, man, I was 20 years old. I was 21 at the time. I didn't know any better. I said some ignorant stuff, but I've been around a lot of you guys throughout my career, and I've changed. I've learned." How do you think that would be received?
I'll get down.
They might follow up with the question. Now, did you do the ER version or was it the A version? Like, which one did you say? In what context did you say it? You know what I mean? So you know how sometimes like you got. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. I got white homies and stuff like that, and I'm part white myself.
Okay.
That when you're around us enough, we say it enough to you gonna slip an A out of there. The NA version, not the ER version. You're gonna slip it. You're gonna look at it like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, you still
too comfortable.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? So like, what was the context of like, what did he say? How did he say it? Like, was he just directing this at her? Like,
I don't know.
Get this ER out of my face or something like that. Like, so I think once he has that conversation with his locker room, whether it happened or not, but if it did happen, and he being up front with him, they probably what was the context? Like, how did you say it? And if he's Spanish, like they're probably like, all right,
I'm not going to tell the story from AIT right now. I'm not going to tell that
story, bro. I think she had a foot on his neck, and that was his only way out.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know, man, but at the same time, I think one, you got to support. Anytime somebody is using racial slurs, like you got to take those seriously, and he should be held accountable as such, regardless whether it was 20 years ago. Like I said earlier, he is the face of the league, and he has, kids with that, his following. They gonna think it's okay to say those things, and so he should clear that up as soon as possible. If he didn't do it, then make that formal statement. But he's coming in with a lot of controversy.
Yeah, he sure is.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I don't think that he doesn't have what it takes to be able to handle that, especially when the pressure on the court starts mounting. And a big part of it is he's going to miss a huge chunk of the offseason because Anthony Davis and LeBron are going to be with Team USA. So he's not going to be able to be sitting with them and working out things with them and, getting all that in place. He's going to miss a big chunk of that time with them that he normally would have. So I think there's a lot of obstacles in his way, but hey, he took the money, he signed on the line, and he's going to have to deal with it. So this is going to be very interesting. All right. Any thoughts, guys? This has been a really interesting topic. Any thoughts before I go ahead and open up these phone lines?
I say we open the lines, bro.
All right, let's get it. All right. So I would love to hear from all you guys. Anybody in the chat who has something to say about this topic. This is a very interesting one. Number is 904-219-8264. You can see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. 904-219-8264. Go ahead, give us a call. We want to hear from you. your thoughts on anything to do with JJ Redick, his introductory press conference, him as a player, him as the Lakers coach. Let's hear what you got.
Again, my Navy brothers, not today. Don't curse like a sailor. Keep it PG, baby. Keep it PG.
And if you're in here and you haven't already, please make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you share out the show. We still got 2 topics left after this. Definitely looking forward to hearing from you guys. Let's go ahead, dial that number, and let's see what we got. (904-219-8264). Got a lot of traffic in the chat. Nobody wants to call in and give your thoughts on this?
I mean, what they gonna say?
We don't
like JJ saying the F-bomb, man. What you think about
Everybody's
it?
got different thoughts, so I definitely want to hear it.
They blew up the chat today. Black,
oh, El Boogie, you wild, man.
Colored man is a good one, bro. I like that. Colored man.
El Boogie, you wild, man. I don't know what, you know what? I mean, I guess you can't say that because nobody really made a big deal out of it. So it is what it is. All right, we're gonna wait just about another minute, and then I know we're bouncing around on the rundown here. I apologize that I didn't do a good job of putting that in order for you gentlemen. Not just you gentlemen, but anybody listening. But since we've been talking about the Lakers the whole time, we're just gonna go ahead and jump down to the LeBron James topic next, and let's see if this gets some fire. So
this may get a little feisty and hot, guys. I want to apologize to anybody in the chat and the viewers. He knows it's about to go down, possibly. I don't know what the question may be, but Bruce, you got it.
All right, so this is interesting, right? So, one of the things that I have always talked about is one of the things that I've always talked about with LeBron James is no matter how much he stacks teams, no matter how much he controls coaches, he tries to manipulate every single thing he can. But what? He always needs more. This is why the GOAT argument is not an argument, because he always needs more. Matter of fact, I was watching something today about how Jerry Krause, former general manager of the Chicago Bulls during Michael Jordan's time there, how Jerry Krause said, and he was on wax, and you know him and Mike did not get along. He came out and said, Michael never came to me and asked me to trade anybody. He never asked me to draft anybody. He never asked me to get anybody, none of that. And so he has no reason to defend Michael Jordan because, you know, they hated each other. But at the end of the day, he came out and said it. And so the fact is LeBron James trying to manipulate every single aspect of his career, most specifically his rosters, has always been a problem for me. He stacked so much talent. It's ridiculous. I think he played with 7 top 75 players. Michael Jordan played with 2. Like it's absurd the way this guy has tried to load up. But yeah, people are going to argue that he's the GOAT. So anyway, the thing is that, so it's recently been reported by Sam Amick, who is an NBA insider with The Athletic, outstanding sports publication. I love it. But anyway, he reported that Anthony Davis and LeBron James are looking for a third superstar, i.e., they want more. So here's the tweet. LeBron James and Anthony Davis reportedly want the Lakers to go all in on another elite player, per Sam Amick.
That's not superstar, Bruce. There's a difference.
Elite player.
Star.
Come on, man. You got 2 top 75 guys on
you
your
got
team.
a difference between superstar and star. Just say that.
Man, look, stop trying to cape up for this dude all the time, man.
Oh,
are you
Christ,
let's try this. Let's try this. Real talk.
Okay.
Are you gonna say that he's not always trying to stack up a team?
No.
I mean that's obvious. What?
No.
Have you not been watching?
Yes.
All right, let me hear your argument on this, because that's
okay.
absurd.
So name me them the seven of the top 75.
So obviously he's played with Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with Ray Allen.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with D Wade.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with Chris Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with Dwight Howard.
Oh, are they top 75? Is
Yeah.
Bosh the top 75?
Yeah, I don't know how, but yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, verify that, please.
Yeah, and he's in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, so Dwight Howard and Carmelo Anthony, that's the 7, right?
Half of those wasn't even
and Russell Westbrook.
near the top 75.
Oh, and Shaquille O'Neal. So it's more than 7.
So okay, so you're placing that list, those players in their prime, they're top 75 players. In their prime, they're top 75 players. Dwight Howard was not in his prime. Russell Westbrook, not in his prime. Carmelo, not in his prime. Shaq definitely wasn't in his prime. That's half of them already. So when people say that, it's like, okay, like you can't really say he's stacking a bunch of top 75 players. Those guys in their prime were top 75 players. Now they digressed on the back half of their careers. It's like, okay, look, they're just trying to go win a championship like other players have done in the past.
No. But if you're that guy, you're telling people you're the GOAT. You're telling people you're the GOAT. That's not us saying, oh well, he's so great, he's the GOAT. He's that fake crown gesture, stupid thing that he does, and oh, that right there made me the greatest of all time, and all this foolishness. And he said it more than once that he's the greatest of all time. If you're doing that, you don't, because think about it. Those moves, they don't happen if he doesn't want them to happen. So the fact is, he's always trying to stack a roster, however he can do it. Brandon, what up, man? How you doing, bro? Good to see you in here, man. Let's see. Hill Bench, you're new, man. Go ahead, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click that like. Make sure you share it with other people you know who might like a different sports, a different view. Of a different voice, I'm sorry, in the sports media landscape. The NBA just lowered their standards for me. Mr. LeBou, shame on the NBA. All you are is a big sham. Lakers origination will be laughing stock of the he just went in on your boys, man.
Who's your team?
He just went in.
Come to the forefront. Come to the podium. Come to the
I don't know this guy, but he just went in.
Come to the podium. I don't even know who this is.
I don't know either, but yeah, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. I like you, Hill. I like you. You're telling it. but in all seriousness, though, man, this is a guy who always is trying to stack a team, right? Even if the guy's not necessarily in their prime. And by the way, he tried to get Melo in his prime to join up with him and D Wade. But Melo took the money in New York. That's how he ended up with Chris Bosh.
That would have substituted Chris Bosh. So, I mean,
right. No, I'm just telling you. So you can't really argue the whole Melo in his prime thing because he's been trying to do that. Oh, and they were what's his name? They tried to get Chris Paul to come to Miami. Yeah, D Wade talked about that on his podcast. They tried to get Chris Paul to come to Miami, but I know you're not going to talk about Kobe playing with the same level of talent than LeBron. We're not even going to do that. That's a whole different thing. But the point is, LeBron is always trying to stack a team. He always needs more. So if you're what you say you are, why do you always need more? That's my problem. So so getting into it, got you. Getting into it, to me, it's so problematic that he's always looking for more help. And we get it, like, my thing is this: if you want to build a championship team, like, that's the organization, man. Players don't need to be doing this. And real talk, that's why now the NBA changed their collective bargaining agreement. They got all this aprons and all that because of what LeBron and then subsequently, Kevin Durant ended up doing. But I've been talking for a while. G, give me your thoughts, and then we'll get back to Brian Transform.
We still talking about LeBron.
Yeah, we still talking about LeBron.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, G. Don't do that.
How he always needs more.
Oh man, this dude need to retire already, man. You're messing the game up. You need to retire already. He's not gonna get a ring. He's too old, and he definitely need a lot of help, bro. Like,
but he always needs a lot of help.
If anybody's listening, go to the Lakers. These guys need help. I heard Spider was thinking about coming there. Saw some rumors for him.
Listen, we always do this type of off season, though, man. It's always
a monster, bro.
Being the thing, bro.
The West is deep. The West has always been the hardest path. And that bubble championship really doesn't count in my eyes. But I mean, that's another day. That's another topic for another day.
Why doesn't it elaborate? Why doesn't that count?
I mean, just the entire environment, right? Like you've been locked in a situation where you can't get out, you can't see your family. The only way to see your family.
Same situation
is
for everybody. Everybody.
Exactly. Yep. But everybody mindset it wasn't there. It was like, oh yeah, you get
so
COVID.
That's his fault.
I'm not saying that's his fault. I just said in my eyes, it's almost like the lockout championships. I don't really count those as well. They hold little value and where I rate everything.
My biggest debate about that is that when they were in the bubble, right, we saw some of the best basketball that we've seen in a while when it came to folks dropping buckets, going back and forth. I believe Donovan Mitchell versus
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, that series, it was electrifying, right? Them boys had nothing to do but play what? Basketball. It was all about basketball. So everybody had the same level playing field. You show up on the same court, you eat in the same place, you guys go to sleep in the same spot. I believe at that point, everybody is literally level. There's no home court advantage. There's no away advantage. There's no, I'm tired because I'm on a flight. I'm tired because I'm on a back-to-back and had to travel. All that stuff is eliminated. Pure basketball. Your team, my team, on the court, let's play. That was the bubble. That was the bubble. Everybody came in the bubble healthy. There was no injury excuses. There was no, I'm hungover, flight delayed. There was none of that crap. It was pure basketball all day, every day. All day, every day. The best team. Go ahead.
It was definitely a concentration camp, right, for basketball players. It was a glorified AAU tournament. And I don't believe that they was out there playing their best basketball. I think some players did show up, but there was other players like, I don't want to catch COVID, right? I just don't want to catch COVID. And it did come out that they were leaving out and they were doing like extracurricular activities, right? And so at the same time, just like everybody else, you had that. Oh man, am I gonna get COVID this series? Like maybe I won't check them as hard as I would normally would if this didn't take place. So that's why me personally, don't count it. Like,
but here's the other thing, B. What I will say about it is this. I get your point that they all played under all the same conditions and all that. But here's the thing. If not for that 4-month break, the Lakers don't even make the playoffs. And the reason I say that is because to that point, what was that? LeBron's 3rd season in LA, right? To that point, he had not finished the season healthy, nor had AD. And so they got that break. They got to get healthy, all that. Now, a lot of
everybody got the same break.
I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is we know, based on what we had seen the previous seasons, LeBron was not going to make it through that season. He just wasn't.
We don't know that. We don't know. How many games did Anthony Davis play last year?
So we can't extrapolate based on what we saw
you can't just say like, okay, since I've seen you in the last 2 years get hurt around this time, you're going to get hurt again. That's not a certainty.
No, it's not a certainty, but it's a fair assumption based on what we saw.
That's an assumption. That's not a fact. Assumptions are not.
No. I didn't say it was a fact, but I think it's a fair assumption based on what we saw earlier on. But
I think for me, the reason why I look at it the way it's an asterisk there for me, only because no other players had to go through that. That's all I'm saying. It's like, and it's unfair to the teams that had to play the 82 game season and then hustle through the playoffs to get to the chip. So for me, right, personally, there definitely is an asterisk next to that championship. The league still counted. So, you guys, Lakers fans, y'all still can cheer, you know what I mean? And
we will.
Yeah. But for me, it's an asterisk because, you still got to get through the 82 games. The regular player got to get through the 82 games. Like I said, it's still, for me, it's the same as if, you had that lockout season where they had that 52 game season before.
Who won that year? The Spurs?
I think that was the year that was it the Spurs or the Rockets? Can't really remember.
99? Was that 99?
I believe it was.
Spurs.
99 was the Spurs. They beat the Knicks in the finals.
Yeah.
All right, but regardless, let's go ahead and So we could argue all day about whether or not the bubble chip was a real chip, and I think a lot of people agree with us that it wasn't. I mean, obviously you're a Laker fan, so you're going to count that, and that's cool. But a lot of people disagree with that bubble chip. But at the end of the day, history is history, and history will show it as a championship. So here's the deal, right? Back to LeBron. This is a guy that always needs more help. So the odd couple with Rob Parker and Chris Broussard were discussing that the other night, and I think Martin Weiss was in for Rob Parker. So let's go ahead and listen to what they had to say about it. Then we'll come back and get thoughts on it.
JJ Redick was introduced yesterday as the head coach of the team, and now there are, of course, articles coming out about what the Lakers need to do. And The Athletic Sam Amick wrote a column. Here's a quote from it, Martin. They, meaning the Lakers, need more high-level talent, and they need it fast if they're going to keep LeBron James and Anthony Davis from growing frustrated about this uncertain Lakers future ahead. Martin, I think you know, I am very fond of LeBron James.
Sure.
People think maybe not because I think Jordan's the GOAT, but I love LeBron James, especially love what he does off the court, what he's about. And as a player, love him too. And there was a time earlier in his career when I thought he would become the GOAT. But I have to be objective. I think it's Jordan. But that doesn't diminish my love for LeBron James any. That said, and I think this is kind of, this sells LeBron short. Not me, but this situation he seems to, at least according to this article and, in his past, puts himself in these situations where the article is saying they want a third star, right? LeBron and Anthony Davis want a third star. And Martin, because LeBron James is so good, because I have such respect for his game, I'm going to be honest. It bothers me that there's always this feeling that he's got to get more. I need more. I need another star. Anthony Davis is not enough, and a bunch of good role players are not enough. I need more. And I'm like, you one of the baddest dudes in the league still. You've got one of the baddest dudes in the league in his prime as your teammate. You're a perimeter player. He's a big. And the role players aren't bad. And no one, who has a big three? Who has a big three? Phoenix? Is that what we shooting for?
I mean, in name only, I'd say. Right. Or I should say this, in contract only.
They got three superstars. Denver doesn't have a big three. Boston doesn't have what we would call a big three. The Minnesota, I mean, you got a good third player, Rudy Gobert, Boston, Kristaps Porzingis, but not big threes like Wade, Bosh, LeBron, or Durant, Curry, Clay, and even throw in Draymond. Heck, even Love, LeBron, Kyrie, that's gone. So why do I hear the best player of this generation, at least the way it's written, clamoring for a third star?
All right, so first question, right? This frustrates me to no end. Chris Broussard is a longtime journalist, extremely respected basketball scribe, right? TV, radio personality, all that.
Mm-hmm. He's been around.
Yes. Explain to me why every time somebody talks about LeBron, and I find myself doing this, why do you have to preface it first? If the dude is wrong about something, he's wrong about something. How many times did we hear Broussard before he even started talking about how much he loves LeBron? Why do we have to do that? Explain it to me. Somebody, why do we have to do that?
Because in some people's eyes, it comes off as hate, right? If you
telling the truth is not hate. Telling the truth is never hate.
I'm gonna agree with you there. But I think he just wants to make sure, like, hey, look, this is not a hate topic. Like, hey, look, I adore what LeBron has done his entire career. I disagree on this part here. You know what I mean? I think he's trying to be more politically correct. Like, hey, look, I'm not trying to offend the bronzexuals because there are those out there. I'm not going to say there's not. There's a lot of bronzexuals that's out there. LeBronites, whatever you want to call them. They're there. They're there. And they run 50% of LeBron's fan base, right? I think that's what he's just trying to be like, okay, look, I love LeBron. I love LeBron's game. I love what he's done for the game. I disagree here. You know what I mean? So, G, you. I know you're tired of talking about LeBron. You go. Yes, you. You're muted.
You hit the hammer right on the head, man. I am tired of talking about LeBron, but I think at 20 plus years in the league, he definitely need more assistance. As far as the intro, like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, LeBron. However, I need to speak my piece. That this could be his influence amongst the NBA. That's I think that's what that runs into.
You know what? Stephen A. Smith, he does do the same thing. Edward Jackson, thanks for your comment. But the thing was, he does it like he does it in jest, because he flat out says it, and that's why I started doing it. He's like, far be it from me to criticize LeBron without giving him all his flowers first. It's like everyone else can get criticized except LeBron James. It is so annoying. But yeah, that was the first thing I heard. So, and that really pissed me off. So I wanted to touch on that. But back to the original topic of him always needing more help, right? So again, per Sam Amick, NBA insider for The Athletic, quote, if the franchise cornerstones had their way, league sources say, the Lakers would prove their desire to win this week by going all in for another elite player, unquote. What the hell does LeBron want? The Lakers have given this dude everything he wants. They have publicly stated, Jeannie Buss, your owner, not your owner, but the owner of the Lakers.
I wish she was. She ain't paying me enough.
Right. She has publicly stated that it is her goal to keep LeBron James happy.
Yep.
What more does this dude want? It is clear. He is telling you he's not that guy. I don't care what anybody thinks. See, I'm getting irritated now, because if you're what you say you are, if you're that guy, you don't need to do all this. It keeps getting back to the same thing. Why does he need to do all this? He always needs more. Now, if you want to say he's 39 years old, he needs some more help, I got you. I'm cool with that. Except, well, we've never seen anyone at 39 years old doing the type of things that LeBron James is doing. He's averaging 25, 8, and 7. Oh my gosh, it's so incredible. 20 years straight at 25 points per game and 40,000 points. And he's done all that, and it's absolutely true. So I'm not hating on any of that. That said, can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. He's the greatest thing ever at 39 years old, but he still needs all this. But the funny thing is, he needed all that when he was 29 years old. He needed all that when he was 25 years old. So can we stop trying to push the fake narrative? Like, it's absurd. Gee, man, help me, man, because I'm about to lose it, bro.
He old, man. He need help.
The boy needs help. Okay,
the boy needs help, man. He needs help, man.
Stop it, Bruce. Bron isn't 30 years old no more.
But you missed what I just said. When he was 30, he needed all that help. When he was 25, he needed all that help. When he was 35, he needed all that help.
When he did the
Miami
Miami
thing, ever not needed all that help?
Okay, but when he did the Miami thing, what did Boston just do?
Hold on.
What did
Now,
Boston do?
I was waiting for you because I knew you were going to do this. I knew you were going to do this.
But what did they just do?
So here we go. Let me.
Okay, G. Before I clown on Bruce, please.
You're not about to do that because I got something for you. Go ahead, G.
I think once he retires and everybody go back and do the assessment, kind of like how they scrutinized MJ career, right? I think you're gonna find that there'll be a lot of more first ballot Hall of Fame players that come forth, and like you're saying, you're starting to see now on his way out that's they don't have too much good things to say about LeBron and his career, and so I think as time go on, all these things are gonna come to forefront. Bruce, I think you're ahead of your time with your assessments of LeBron, which is based off facts, of course. But he a Laker now, so Lakers fans are gonna support him 110. And he's just old, bro. Like that's what they do. Like he's calling all players that's, hey, look, if you don't have a chip, come help. So, and I think that's what it is. Come take this league minimum. You know what I mean? Let's go on this run. This is almost my last ride. let's see if we can run the table here.
So quick point to that, right? LeBron James just signed a new, was that 3-year, $160 million deal, if I'm not
I don't
mistaken.
think he agreed on it yet.
Okay,
Did that come up yet? He didn't agree on that yet. That was offered. That's what we have on the table for.
Lakers are committed to signing LeBron James to a 3-year, $162 million max contract. All right, cool. So you know what else is funny? LeBron James, I think when he left Miami, he said he's never playing for less than the max again. And I respect that, right? I'm not mad at that. Now that said, okay, cool. Now that said, LeBron is now a billionaire, correct? He's a billionaire. Yep. He's the only guy to ever become a billionaire while still playing. All right, cool. So with that said, you so desperately want to win. There's this new collective bargaining agreement in place. The Lakers don't have the money, but you still want to take up a huge chunk of the cap, right? If you really want the help, make it happen. Now, I'm not trying to pocket watch. I understand that's his dough and he earned it. But if you really want to help, make it happen. Why can't you? Why can't you? Money's not a problem to you.
I agree.
You make tons of money off the floor. Right. So there's that. Now, let me get back to this nonsense you were saying. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly when you're saying, what did the Celtics just do? Tell me what you mean by that, because I want to make sure.
Okay, what did the Celtics just do before LeBron went to Miami? What did they just do? They signed Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. Both in their primes, right?
No.
Big three is what we called them. We called them a big three before they eventually became a big four, because I count Rondo as a star at that point because he was doing this thing. Rondo was a huge call to that team.
He was, but he wasn't. Yeah, but go ahead.
It was like 3.5. All right, the big 3.5. You want to count 3.5, man? The big 3.5. There you go. Rondo was the half of the 3.5, right?
Okay.
So LeBron went to go do his thing. Yet he was a player and done it. Now we're like, oh, Bron
exactly
go do his own thing. But
exactly,
look,
it's a different thing. Kevin Garnett got traded there.
But it happened.
Ray Allen got
Did
traded
they not call
there.
each other? Did they not talk before that trade happened?
I mean, I'm sure they asked Paul Pierce, like, yo, was it because Kevin Garnett, he knew Paul Pierce since high school? But they didn't get together. They didn't get together and orchestrate that deal. Come on, man. These dudes weren't out here trying to shirk competition.
They're not on the phone. They're not on the phone.
Hold on. You know, when Kevin Garnett went there, he came into the league in 1995. So he was going into his 13th season. 13 years. 13 years. Not 7 years, not 5 years. 13 years he's been in the league already. Ray Allen, 12 years in the league already. Paul Pierce, 10 years in the league already. So these weren't some guys that were. Hold on. These guys weren't still in their. They weren't still in their prime. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to say that LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh and Melo orchestrating to put a team together as players all in their prime is the same as guys at the end of, if not out of their prime, coming together and put together by an organization, man, stop that. That's what we call false equivalency. You're dead wrong, bro.
It happened. It happened.
It's wrong.
We can't just say that Boston just didn't create a team that's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And what did they do? They ran through the East. They ran through the East the moment it happened. Them Celtics was never in no finals conversation when Paul Pierce was by himself. So guess what? They got on the phone.
No, not when he was by himself. But if you remember in 2001, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. They got beat by the Nets. But that was Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker. But ran through the NBA. But the point is, see, Maurice Reed, you're wrong on this, bro. You're wrong. Boston did not start the super team era because, again, it's not the same thing when you have players outside of their prime that get put together by an organization versus players that are in their prime. So the year prior to LeBron going to Miami, Dwayne Wade led the league in scoring, right? So these dudes, every one of them dudes was so LeBron was first team All-NBA, D Wade was first team All-NBA, Chris Bosh second team All-NBA, right? So these dudes were all in their prime, right smack dab in the middle of it, still nasty. Them dudes coming together, and remember, they were working with Melo from like 2 years prior. So they got together in the 2010, 2011 series. They were working this thing from the Olympics in 2008, which means they were trying to shirk competition from way back. It is not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Okay. All right. Let's
hold on. Let me No. Brandon. So Houston did it with Elijah Barkley and Drexler. So remember, that was also organization orchestrated. Charles Barkley didn't even know that he had got traded till he got the call. Phoenix kept telling him that they weren't going to trade him, and then he found out he got traded to Houston. And then when Drexler retired, they added Pippen. Yeah. So again, that's not the same thing. Like, I get what you're saying, but it's not the same thing. Go ahead, B.
No, because your thing is that they're not in their primes. They're not in their primes when they all orchestrated this whole deal with the Celtics. What was Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen doing just that year prior? What were they doing just that year prior?
I want to say Kevin Garnett went out in the first round the year prior if he made the playoffs.
But he was a 22 and 10
I'm not sure
guy.
about Ray Allen.
22 and 10 guy.
Oh, you're talking about what they were doing as individual players.
On the individual player.
Oh, no, they were still good. They were still good.
Still good. Mm-hmm. Ray Allen, I'm pretty sure he was averaging, 24, 25 a game still? Ray Allen was still like that.
Might have been.
Ray Allen was still like that. But yet Boston orchestrated that deal for all three of them to come together. So, yes, it's still a big three. They're not in their 28,
it is a big three.
Prime. Kevin Garnett was, 30? You're still in your prime at 30 years old. You're still in your prime. You're still well in your prime. I can still get some years out of you.
No. Kevin Garnett, by then, what was he? 32. He was 32.
Chat,
so
hit us up, chat. I got a whole computer right here. Why am I playing?
No, he was 32, and then the difference is also, remember, back then the game being so much more physical at the power forward spot. 32 then ain't like 32 now. It really isn't. All right, but we've been doing a lot of arguing back and forth, which is you knew it was coming, but you knew. Oh yeah, absolutely. We're having a lot of fun here. G, what you got before I go ahead and open up these phone lines, man? All right, Jay, he was 31. Thank you for the correction, bro. Thank you for the correction. He was going
30 going on 31.
Yeah, because he came fresh out of high
I thought
school.
Philly had like the first big three, right? Then he had like Dirk Coleman and a couple other players.
Well,
AI, Dirk Coleman, and
was Mutombo? No, that was.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing about that was that Derek Coleman wasn't the same Derek Coleman at that point. He wasn't like New Jersey Derek Coleman. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay, he wasn't like that Derek Coleman. So I say the same thing when people say Bron played with all these top 75 players. Dwight Howard wasn't that Dwight Howard.
That's
Shaq
true.
Wasn't that Shaq?
That's true.
Melo wasn't that Melo.
But here's the difference,
Russ wasn't that Russ.
What you keep missing, the difference is that LeBron thought that they could be some semblance of that player because he was the one who wanted him there. If LeBron didn't want him there, you think all those players are there? That's not happening.
Like, okay, good. You have these key attributes that I've seen over 10, 12 years of your career. You would be a nice piece to add on to my team. Dwight Howard was that.
No,
But
this
Dwight
dude is
Howard
looking
wasn't
like
that same old
this dude
Orlando
is looking
Magic
like
Dwight.
okay, this dude was a perennial all-star. He's an all-timer. I need him. I'm gonna add him.
So
on.
he knows how to play the game. He knows how to get it done.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, as a player, when you do that, you're shirking competition. I don't respect that. That's what I'm saying, flat out. I don't. An organization put a team together, so be it. A player, you doing it, I don't respect that. Nah. Because the guys we're looking at, the Mikes and the Kobes, those guys, they did what they had to do.
Kobe,
and they went out
they
there.
They did it when Kobe was there. What did Kobe want? I love Kobe, but what did Kobe want?
What you mean?
Kobe wanted Dwight. Kobe wanted Dwight Howard and Chris Paul. Did he not?
But yes.
Did he not? Did he not? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah. No. He did.
Kobe wanted that.
But
so we can't just put that on LeBron.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought there was moves that the organization made that he signed off on. Like, not that he went to him and say, get me this guy, get me that guy. We know how LeBron gets down. But all right, we going to go back and forth on this forever. By the way, look at what Brandon Bryce has to say. Just check that out.
When a team makes moves to improve a team compared to players together to provide. That's your agree to disagree, brother. It's the same damn thing.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. All right, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up these phone lines. All right, team. The number is 904-219-8264. L Boogie, I know you've been trying to call in. Go ahead and hit me up and let's do it. Anybody else, go ahead and give us a call. Waiting to hear from you.
Good dialogue, fellas.
Yeah. Nino, what you got, man?
Man, it's about time y'all get somebody with some sense.
Oh, that's what it is, Nino? All right. What you got, man?
All I'm saying is this.
Uh-huh.
with y'all because I get a lot of older people that say that. A lot of old school that say the players building the team up. Okay, but the players shouldn't have to tell the GM to do his job. When some teams, you see it in NFL, NBA. Some teams just content with winning a few games, selling out arenas. Bro, and they were trying to win. When you look over there, you see when Kobe would tell, hey, we finna have to do something now. They went and got Bynum, LO, went and traded for Gasol, they won again. Kobe had Shaq, team win. Did you say Michael? How do y'all discredit Michael GM? One of the best GMs that ever did it. They kept getting better and better. They had Pippen. Was Pippen like top 3 in his position? Then Robin like top 3 in his position, rebounding. And defense. Yeah, Mike didn't the GM build the team, but that was good GM do. Bro had to step in to play both roles. So was Jordan team a super team? He had a top 3 small forward, one of the best rebounders in the league, and could really play. Tony Kukoc, they kept getting better and better. Hey, don't go to the 80s. Who Bird played with? Bird played with 5T Hall of Famers.
He did.
Then you go to Kareem and Magic and Worthy. How was they getting all these picks? I mean, super teams have been super teams.
Shrewd moves. But again, organization built super teams are not the same as player built. And I guess we're just gonna continue to disagree on that, and that's fine. But there's no way anybody can convince me that me working with what I'm handed is the same as me hand picking. Like that's just 2 different things.
But yet they still leave you alone, bros.
I'm just saying there's no way that I can.
Some players still gotta talk. They still gotta talk. They're still gonna talk.
But they look, Phil, remember on the documentary, Phil said they came to him and said, what you think about Dennis Rodman? And Jordan said, as long as he gonna help us win, stay out the way or whatever.
Right. So is there a difference between Phil coming and saying, what do you think, versus Mike kicking open the front office door and saying, hey, I want this, I want that. And if I don't get what I want, right?
They say he sent edible arrangements.
But who the Bulls hate so much, Jerry Krause, because I watched the documentary, I'm like, hold on. This guy is one of the best GMs. He finally telling all over. So they didn't have to, Jordan didn't have to go to him. Old boy was working overtime. And Cleveland, the fact that they in Cleveland, which I work in Ohio, so
okay.
I understand why nobody want to come to Cleveland. So. I mean, bro had to do something, man. You got Boston over there. That's what I was saying last time we talked. They was already comparing Bron by rings. So I know in their head they were like, hold on, now it's not fair for me to be playing against Kobe with these guys, and then everybody else getting better, and they just telling me I'm supposed to be winning with these guys. Which is, I don't know, 50-50. I'm okay.
I think LeBron wanted to control his own fate, and if he has the power to do so, he did so. I want to control my own fate. Like if I'm already having odds with this GM process and how it's working, and I just seen what Boston just did with their organization. Well, why can't you, GM? Why can't you do it? Okay, say less. I'm gonna do it. And I think that's what people have the problem with, is that LeBron did that. Like he was like, fuck that. Let
me stop you. This is what people have the problem with. You got anything else, Nino?
No, that's all I got.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Look at what Brandon Bryce says here. And this is the real talk of why people have a problem with LeBron doing it. Not because he's doing it, but because he does it. We all know he does it, but when stuff goes bad, he on that.
Wait, when he said they failed, when did he fail?
When stuff doesn't work out, he acts like he had.
No. I'm talking about Brandon. When did he fail? When did he fail?
All these coaches he picked. Okay, the easy one, Laker man, is Westbrook. He's responsible for that, and that failed horribly. All these coaches he picked, that failed horribly. Think about this. Remember when he was in Cleveland? I think it was the first year back, either the first or second year, and he literally traded away like the entire team at the trade deadline, brought in a whole bunch of new dudes. That roster is not that roster if that's not the players that he handpicked and he wanted. But when it didn't go good, he got them all traded away. But he never, ever takes accountability for the moves that he makes that don't turn out well. That's the problem. That's what people have an issue with.
Okay. I mean, but my term of failure wasn't that. My term of failure was, did he get them folks a championship ring?
Yes. Yes.
So I mean, I can't say he failed. He went to Miami, got him 2 more rings. He went back to Cleveland, got him their first ever ring. Came to LA, got him a ring. It's people that go 20 years and don't get one.
And that's a fact.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that he failed.
I'm saying when particular moves that he makes fail. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we can say that then.
Yeah.
My term of failure means that he went to that franchise and did nothing. That's what I think about failure. So it was just 2 different versions of failure that we were looking at. My bad, brother. Go ahead, Brandon. You got it. He failed a couple of times. Yeah. That Westbrook was a failure. Westbrook, I call it that. That was a failure the moment the damn trade came through.
Hey, listen up, everybody. If you're watching the show and you're enjoying it, please make sure you go ahead and go to the YouTube page. Hit that like and subscribe. I need that. Appreciate it.
Share with your buddies. My team, hold me down. Put my boy Boots on, man. I love the podcast, brother.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and are there any more calls on this topic? Definitely want to hear from you. If anybody else wants to call in and talk about LeBron always needing
Being
more
great.
and how he's not
Being
what he
great.
says he is and all
Being
that.
Being great.
Listen, did I ever say he's not great? Did I? See, this is the problem with LeBron fans. No. The problem with LeBronites. Now, am I going to tell you that he has a lot of weaknesses and that he's not what he says he is? Absolutely. But the problem with you people is it's not enough for me to say he's had an all-time great career or he's been great. It's not enough for you. I have to worship him and I have to wash his feet and I have to bow down and all that. That's what you people want. If I don't say that he's better than Michael Jordan,
I'm a human, sir.
You know who you people are. You know who you people are. All right. You know it. All right. It looks like we're not going to get any more topics on this. Christopher, you a Wiz fan? Oh, my God.
Boy, he's been living in years of turmoil.
My homeboy Brandon, y'all will be good, man. Brandon,
go home and get a hug, man. Gee, get that man a cigar, brother. Get him a cigar. He needs to go home and have a sip of whiskey, man, a stogie, and boy,
he need to do something.
Already on it, man. Already on it. You know, it's cheap tickets, man. We in the DMV, so that's pretty much. We can go to Philly, but you know how that's gonna work out for us. So.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the last topic of the night, man. Really good stuff so far. Really enjoying the discourse and all that. So let's go to the final topic, and that is going to be, this is something I wanted to talk about. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and the WNBA and what's going on there. And that's one of the biggest stories in sports right now, if we're honest, right? So we saw, so G and I, we've talked about this topic a few times in kind of different ways. And so we saw the Indiana Fever play the Chicago Sky for the 3rd time this season last Sunday. And the Chicago Sky pulled out a nail biter. I think it was like 88-87 they won, or 87-86 right there. But an incredible game, right? And so what really got me is so let me go back a little bit, right? So Caitlin Clark, obviously we know she's been a lightning rod, some controversy, some not, but she's been a major sports story. And the reason why is since she's come into the league, the WNBA has gotten more attention than it's gotten probably since its inception. And in games that the Indiana Fever have played that's been televised, they have broken WNBA viewership records on 6 different networks. Like, she's a draw.
Like by double, triple, like
they're killing. She is a draw.
Yeah.
And so Caitlin Clark is getting busy, and we know that her rival from college is Angel Reese, former Maryland Terrapin, former LSU Lady Tiger. And so this is interesting because maybe a couple months ago during the women's NCAA tournament, I interviewed a guy that used to be the women's head basketball coach at University of North Florida, Division I coach. And we were talking about these amazing women's players and what was going on. And one of the things that I said was, they have the ability and the possibility to become the Magic and Bird that can bring their league to the next level once they go.
You're on the right track. I had
Right.
that same topic. That's what I was gonna bring up. Go ahead.
Right. And I think it was really interesting because obviously we got Angel Reese. Clearly she's black and she's from an urban area, right? So that's magic. And then you got Caitlin Clark. She's white. She's from the heartland. That's Bird. And so they have so they have an incredibly great. They had record-setting performances in terms of viewership in the 2 years back to back in March Madness in the women's NCAA basketball tournament. And so yeah, be more. I hear you, G. I hear you. And so, Genius and I, we were talking about this topic, and one of the things he says to me last week, he says to me, Angel Reese is going to be Rookie of the Year. And I'm like, bro, no, she's not. Like, she's nice, but no, she's not. Caitlin Clark. And then they go out and have this game, which breaks another record. It's the most viewed WNBA game in the last 23 years. I think it peaked at just over 3 million viewers and averaged 2.25 mil. So it was incredible. And you watch this, and I thought that the Chicago Sky was about to get run out of the building. I think they were down by like 12 or 15 at one point, and then Angel Reese went crazy, literally put it on her back, finishes with 25 and 16, dominates the game, and brings it home for the Chicago Sky. Like, it was incredible. So she had 25 and 16. She was the first WNBA rookie since Asia Wilson with a 25-15 game since 2017, I believe. Caitlin Clark sets the Fever singles game assist record with 13. She had 17 points and 13 assists, and she's just working extremely well with Aaliyah Boston. Like, now you're really starting to see them get in sync. And look at that beautiful dime right there, right? Just coming down the lane, hit her, boom. There's another one, bounce pass in traffic, boom. There's Aaliyah Boston. And so you're watching this, another dime over the top, and then this right here was crazy. Angel Reese gathers
in traffic
through contact, right?
Yes,
just an amazing move. And
that's what we want to see.
Right. And so I'm watching this and I'm literally, stink face after the deep three. And so I'm literally like glued to my seat watching this game, and I'm not going to say that I am the biggest WNBA aficionado, but I covered women's basketball at UNF, Division I women's basketball. As a journalism student, I did that. I've been to WNBA games before. So, you watch it and you see, and it's just, it's amazing. Christopher says Angel is probably going to win it. Now, she's got a very good chance. She has a WNBA rookie record with 8 straight double-doubles. She's getting busy. This is an interesting point. I think Angel should win it, but I don't think the media can give it to her for the game growth. They got to give it to CC. Now, I think they both have very realistic arguments for it, but I've been talking for a while. Let me go ahead and turn it over to you guys. G, I'm going to go with you first because I know you want to talk about your girl, Angel Reese, so let's hear it, man.
By you, Barbie.
No, she's Chi-Town Barbie now.
Chi-Town Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a beast, man. She pretty much almost averaged a double-double on the season right now. And as you see, she can put the game she can put her team on her back and execute on a clutch, right?
She does average a double-double now, by the way. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Right? I knew that. However, you know what I'm saying? And so you look at players that come in the game with a chip on their shoulder. I know they say she's the villain because she has that chip, right? But you see what happens when you got a chip. You know what I'm saying? You can get it in the paint versus, just chucking up threes from deep. Like, they not going to fall all the time. And she has a consistent game, almost in and out. Like, every game she puts up those same numbers you said, double-double. But during that game, I mean, you see the rivalry. We see, the draw that comes along with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I can testify for Angel Reese. She definitely has a big following in the DMV, right?
Absolutely.
So much so that you see a lot of young kids, especially young females. You know what I mean? Anywhere that she shows up, Compton State, she's there, and it's a sold out arena everywhere she goes. And we can see that. You know what I'm saying? We can see that by the ratings and the viewers. I think it's a really good look for WNBA, and
it is.
I think this will be one of those things that those rivalries that go on throughout their careers. However, there's a lot of dogs in the WNBA, and I think just like what Bronny's going to find out when he first strap up, They not gonna let it. They not that storyline. You got to write it yourself, and she's doing
Mm-hmm.
a really good job of doing that. Especially when Nate says, talk to a couple guys. He's like, nah, she ain't that nice. She ain't that nice. Well, no, they're not saying that because her skill set is translating in WNBA, and so I look forward to seeing a lot of good things come from her. Extending her game, shooting the three, getting that mid range going, and I think she might be the next Lisa Leslie in the league. It's still ages party.
Or like
I
a
think.
Candace Parker or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely still ages party.
Oh yeah, Angel Wilson.
She's dominating the league for years, right?
And we can't forget about Breanna Stewart up in New York. She a problem too, man. They got some. You're right, G. They got some real serious ball players in the WNBA right now, and I get why some of them would be frustrated, saying that where was all this attention. But I like to liken it to this, right? We mentioned Magic and Bird, and the fact is, because Magic and Bird lifted the league in the NBA, that doesn't mean that the players that were there prior weren't any good. That just means sometimes you need a catalyst to get people's attention. And I think that's what we're seeing with this rookie class here. Magic Johnson, he actually tweeted, and I love Magic. I hate that I love Magic the way I do, but I do. He's so incredible. But he says, when I think about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's impact on the game, they remind me a lot of Larry Bird and me. Our first meeting, Indiana State versus Michigan State in NCAA championship, at the all-time viewership record. Yeah. Caitlin and Angels 2023 NCAA championship matchup and their 2024 Elite Eight games were the highest viewership records at the time. That's what we talked about. And then he follows up, and then he talks about, basically, I'm not going to read it all to you. You can see it, but he talks about how what they're doing is going to lift the entire league and everyone should lean into it. Now, does that mean that they should let Caitlin Clark do whatever she wants on the floor and not defend her? No. Part of why we love Caitlin Clark is that she American Pie. Oh man, everybody loves Caitlin Clark. But no, seriously, part of the reason we love her is because she's not whining, she's not complaining, she's going out there and balling, and she's just continuing to improve. And we respect that. She's not whining or asking for the special treatment or anything like that. But yeah, so we see what they're doing, and I love it. I love it. Brian, we haven't gotten your thoughts on this yet. Go ahead.
No, I mean, what I wanted to focus emphasis on is that what do the people, and I mean the people as in all of us, what do we like on TV?
On what?
Drama. We like a story.
Oh yeah.
Something to talk about. When Angel and Caitlin met up in the NCAA tournament, there was drama, there was a story, there was controversy. So the views and everything started clicking. So the fact that y'all went there back-to-back years and you're having this sort of battle, and both of y'all are playing out your mind, that's what's going to translate well with the WNBA. So when people say the WNBA is growing because of those two, because until they got there, there wasn't a story. There wasn't no drama. There wasn't a competitive back and forth like that Magic Bird series. Like, oh man, they were back and forth in the NCAA tournament trying to win it all. You know what I mean? They both made it to the Final Four both times. You know what I mean? And they had to face each other. So when they both translated that to the WNBA, oh, you already know what we trying to watch. Oh, we trying to watch Angel Reese. So with the makeup, get the nails done and drop 20 and 10. Or we trying to see Caitlin Clark push that little head to the side and go ahead and shoot that thing from 30. We're trying to see it because they create that story, that drama in college. You know what I mean? How they got to play each other again. Oh, we got to meet again? This is the third in a row. We're going back and forth. Like, they want to talk about you. I want them to talk about me. So that viewership it's just going to grow. It's just going to grow.
And I was telling G earlier when we were talking about this, the beautiful thing is because there's less teams in the WNBA, they get to play each other more often. So we get to continue to watch that. And that doesn't mean that there's not tremendous players in the league on other teams, because there are, but this is kind of the rivalry that people are looking for. And so the other thing that I've always said in this situation, like, let's say I'm a player and I've been putting in work for the last 5 years in WNBA, and I'm not happy the fact that it's only now that the attention is coming. You know what? Yeah, that sucks. But guess what? When I play against Caitlin Clark, I'm about to go ham. Y'all are watching for her, but you out to see me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like,
what T.O. used to say? Get your popcorn ready.
get your popcorn ready. I'm going
Popcorn
on.
ready.
You know what?
Buckets up.
It was crazy because Chris brought up a real good point, right? Like, and Caitlin Clark started the whole thing where she was doing this in your face, right?
Uh-huh.
And then baby girl came right back, took the ring from her and started pointing to a ring finger, like, yeah, this us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that started. I mean, during that time, we really didn't have a lot of competitive men's basketball, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people changed the channel when the girls played because that intensity was there. The NCAA wins, NCAA tournament, the women was a lot better than, as far as showmanship and draw than the men's. It was pretty much dry. And so what we saying in this viewership is that people are starting to look at, like, all right, well, these girls are really scrapping, man. Like, they out here playing ball, they playing at a high level, they touch you, you know what I'm saying? They in each other's face, and it kind of brings back that 90 feel of basketball where there was that competitive level was there, and we just wasn't getting it. Everybody that, men's NIL, I think that had a it really played a really big part in the success of those two young ladies, right? Because they had to build that following and get that money, right? And we saw them get paid so much so that it was like, oh, all right, well, if we go to the WNBA, we won't make as much money as we would if we stay in college, right? So to that, hats off to both of them, right? Like, there's really no villain in this. It's like, you still got to strap up, you got to get them dubs, and at the end of all this, we'll see who had the heart, who had the grit, and who came out on top. That's just the points I had, fellas.
Yeah, no doubt. And I love that you talk about the dog and the grit and the heart, because let's hear Angel Reese speak to that after the big win on Sunday.
Well, Angel, your team was down by 15 points, and you personally started the run that won this game. How do you find this in you each and every time to be such a winner?
I'm a dog. You can't teach that. I'm going to go out and do whatever it takes to win, and every single night. My teammates rely on my energy. So being able to continue the energy, even if we're down, even if we're up, that's what I do.
It was a career night for you, the best performance you've ever had in the WNBA so far. What does that mean to you?
I try to give myself some grace. I'm really hard on myself. I mean, I'm happy we won, and I'm so happy we won. That matters most anything, but I got to get back to work, and we got to get back to work for our next game.
I see you put your arm around Kennedy Carter late in the game. I see that leadership. You've done it for years. What is the message you're telling her? Because she was terrific today.
Hey, me and Kennedy, we have a different kind of relationship. We've been through a lot of the same things. A lot of people have misconceptions about us. We understand each other, and that's why I love her. She can get to me, I can get to her. She a dog, too. She came out and did so much for us tonight. This is a team effort, and I'm just so happy for this team.
Everybody wants to know if this is a budding rivalry. This is the first win, if it is or if it isn't. What do you think?
Hey, it's just good competition. I'm happy. I mean, they still got us. They got one up on us, so I'm just happy for the team, and I want to make it about us. I just want our team. Chicago, they came out tonight, so I'm just happy for us.
So I love the way Angel Reese handled that.
I
love
like,
it. I'm a
like
dog.
that.
Can't
like
teach
that.
Yeah, and that was official. And then I also love they kept trying to, like, they wanted to bait her into the I guess some comments on Caitlin Clark or whatever. Nah, it's not about us.
No,
it's about getting the win. It's a team
this
thing.
stuff.
I'm happy for my team. She handled that perfectly, and I loved it. That was professional. That was mature, and she said that was the commentary of a winner. You know what I'm saying? No, it's
and
not
I love
about
how
me
she
or her.
kept making it about the team.
Yes.
To elaborate, like, you're doing so well. You're doing no, man. It's about this team win.
That's
we
right.
got this love. They got one up over us. She said us.
Right.
One up over us. We
Right.
got to go out there and play and get this game plan together so we can come back and we can play a better game. That's
right.
that demeanor that the WNBA has been missing. Like, nah, bump that. I like that.
I don't even know if the WNBA's been missing it. I think we just haven't been noticing it because
not been public. It hasn't been public.
We weren't given the reason to watch it the way we want to see it. But now we got more of that reason, and we're seeing, man, these ladies get. Because I remember back when Maya Moore was playing, I used to watch some WNBA.
Maya was my girl.
What?
When you want to say a female Kobe? Boy,
Nasty.
that was female Kobe.
In the mid-range, sick from three, could put you in the post. Yeah, she
fade like, oh boy, Maya was a beast.
Yeah. No weakness, and she could defend. I loved what we heard from Angel Reese there, and that was really good, and that's what you want to hear, and I think that's the type of stuff that's going to continue to help to lift this league up. G, what were your thoughts on her comments, man?
Oh yeah, they was spot on, right? Like the whole "I got it out the mud." That's pretty much what she said. I got it out the mud, right? You can't teach that. You have to be exposed to it. Not saying that Caitlin, man, she hasn't, but what
She a
she
dog in
does
her
have
own way.
over her,
It's
right?
different.
She beat her in the national championship, and so you know what I'm saying when it mattered, man, she point to that ring finger like,
Right.
yeah.
I got the
It's
script
it's
on
good
it.
to see, man. Like it's really good to see. We don't have that. I don't think we have that. I mean, we saw it a little bit in the playoffs, right? But it's a lot of international players that like talking shit to these American players because they're not performing. And hats off to the Celtics, of course, for closing it out. I didn't think they was gonna get past Luka and Kyrie, but that's another story. So I didn't think it
I'm
was gonna
walking
happen,
out.
but they
He
made it
almost
happen.
left. He made our guest leave, man. He was
I
about to
pass
get up and
over.
roll out.
All right, guys, it's been real.
Yeah, man. But Angel Reese is a dog, man. Like if you
Yeah,
have a chance to
absolutely.
look at her stat line on when she was at St. Francis, she did her thing. We got another player that was drafted and to yesterday for the Wizards and Bub and he a dog as well, man. He can put the ball in the hoop from anywhere and everywhere on the court, and I expect to see big things coming from him later on. But
no
shout
doubt.
out to Angel. It's not hard, man, being a villain, right? It's not hard being a villain.
So
But
here's the thing, as you mentioned, being the villain, like a lot of people they're saying like that she's being made the villain, and that there's a racial component there, and there is because this is America. But here's my thing: she's not being made the villain because if you listen to her commentary, she's like, "I'll be the villain. Like I'm cool with being the villain. I'll be that." It's like she's totally embracing the villain role. So like she's not being made the villain. It just it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, as long as we get some good competition and we get these great matchups and it's going to continue to happen, we're good with that. You seeing in them in those same games, you seeing Camila Cardozo match up with Aaliyah Boston. They were teammates in South Carolina, and now you seeing them banging in the post,
Going
right?
back and forth, yeah.
So you love seeing that stuff. And then of course like we said, Asia Wilson, animal, just a beast. Breanna Stewart up in New York for the Liberty, beast. Arike Ogunbowale.
She's still averaging 30.
28, I believe.
28?
Yeah.
Crazy.
That woman right
Ogunbowale
there,
is averaging like 25, 26 for Dallas. She's
the
a
queen
problem.
of the hill. Yeah, she's the queen of the hill.
Yeah, Jewel Lloyd up in Seattle. So there's some ballers, man, and I think it's a beautiful thing. The attention that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are bringing to the WNBA and bringing to the women's game. It's a good thing, man.
It's needed because the voice of the WNBA, they wanted more attention. They want more money. They want to be paid more. They want to elevate the brand.
Yeah.
You just found your Michael Jordans. You just found your Michael Jordan.
I'm not gonna go with the Michael Jordan. That's a stretch, but I get what you're saying in terms of
aspect of like, okay, look, we're gonna take the NBA here. Like this is where we're gonna go with it. When Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came in, okay, good. We finally have faces. This is what they needed. This is what the WNBA needed. They needed this roster.
So to that point, Angel and Caitlin can be Magic and Bird, but when Juju Watkins comes, she might be Jordan.
Juju is nice out of UFC.
She in a lab, shorty. She in a lab, shorty.
Oh,
She in a lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she working with Phil Handy now too. So it's like,
is she? I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. She in the lab. She in the lab.
She in the lab with Phil Handy.
She a problem.
Oh yeah, it's about to be real deal Holyfield with you two boys.
Two really good ambassadors for the league, and I think what we'll see is more exposure on the WNBA side, like you said, Bruce. It's just good basketball, man. The intensity is there. Comeback wins. As a fan, right? Just as a fan, a basketball fan, you love to see that, and sometimes we don't get that, right? Like we get a lot of buddy ball. We get a lot of buddy ball, and that's not what we sign up for. That's not what we tune in for. We don't want to see you shaking hands and hugging and shit, in the middle of a must-win game and shit like that. Nobody want to see that.
Nah, I feel you. All right, so we're going to leave this topic right there. If anybody wants to call in, this is our last topic of the night, 904-219-8264. Your thoughts on Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, what they're doing for the WNBA, or if you want to call in and talk about who you think the WNBA Rookie of the Year will be, because I know I know G thinks it's Angel Reese, and I said, nah, it ain't gonna be her. And then Angel Reese went out and freaking got busy. Let's see what we got right here. Format Podcast. Who's this?
Hey, what's going on, Pod? This is Edward Jackson calling from Tennessee. Just subscribe to the channel.
Edward, what's good, bro? Thank you for subscribing, man. What you got?
Oh, nothing, man. I just hear, man, loving what I'm hearing so far. My brother put me on B. I love you. Y'all y'all doing a good job.
Love you too, bro.
Can't wait for the football season come. And of course,
it's
a Laker and Boston fan. I'm loving what I'm hearing so far.
Right.
I love what I'm hearing. But I just want to give y'all a major shout out. That's all I got, man. Tennessee native.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much for calling in. Thank you for subscribing, man. Keep listening. We generally do this about twice a week, so we got a lot in store. And also just get ready because football season coming. And G and I
go baby. I'm changing my hat.
You know what? It occurs to me. Yeah, you're a Packers fan. That's NFC. Me and G, we rock with the Ravens, so we might see y'all in the Super Bowl.
Come
on.
He's a Steeler. My brother's a Steeler fan, man.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. AFC North. All right. So we definitely gonna be looking for you during football season, man. I can't wait to talk to you some more because
definitely have you on when he come on. I need to hear this conversation.
You know the AFC North is vicious, and so yeah, we
y'all loaded. Y'all
when
loaded.
The Ravens and the Steelers play, those are hospital games.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
But y'all keep up the good work, man. Love what I'm hearing so far, man. Y'all stay blessed.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
you, brother,
that, man. I'm
Love
gonna
you.
lock you in.
For sure.
All right, bro. Have a good one. All right. Anybody else want to call in? Give us your thoughts on I guess anything we talked about tonight, but specifically the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese topic. Definitely would love to hear from you on that. If not, we'll go ahead and we will shut it down here. It's been a good show. Definitely has some good feedback. I mean, I think we need to put a new rule in on the show, man. No more Lakers in the house, man.
You know what?
Format Podcast.
Oh, go ahead.
Hello. I got. Hey, yeah, this Mike, bro.
This who?
Another one of B brothers, man.
That's my brother, man.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate you. Hope you like and subscribe to the channel.
Oh yeah, for sure. I already did that, man.
Thank you, brother. What you got?
Hey, man. Yeah, Angel Reese gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? She gonna get the MVP. I mean, real good of the year, man. For sure, man. Yeah. Hey,
You never know, man.
I rock with her.
They snub Melo, man. You never know.
They did snub Melo. They sure did.
I rock with Angel Reese, man. She, I'm from Memphis too, man. That's how we get down here, man. So yeah, I rock with Angel Reese, man, for sure.
Listen, I'm not mad at that, and I would not be mad if she won Rookie of the Year. I still think it's gonna be Caitlin Clark, but I think the beautiful thing is this is gonna come down to the wire, and I think it's probably good. We still got a few more games of them to see. So, as long as they keep going like this, I think it's going to be amazing.
If Angel continues on this double tear that she's going on and that dog mentality, she's going to win. She's going to win. She's going to win.
Man, look, I was just showing my support, man. Hey, y'all keep doing y'all thing, though, for sure, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. So much.
Appreciate you, bro.
Love you, bro.
Love, brother.
All right, man. All right. Anybody else want to call in? Give your thoughts on this. If not, we'll go ahead and we'll call it a wrap for the night.
Oh no! We're not gonna skip over the fact that you said you don't want no more Lakers on this show. Okay, we're not gonna just go zero step over that one, right? You know what I mean? I brought the life to the party. What you can't invite a Laker fan?
You brought a little something. I respect that. But you know what? You can come back. After the Lakers get another chip and catch up.
Oh, we'll see you next. I'll see you next year. That's what when Boston win one, boy, y'all go. It's head over heels, man.
Yeah, I know you love the fact that we won it in 8 and 24.
You might want to hear that.
I'm just saying. You like that? You think that's cool?
Don't bring him into this, man.
I'm just saying,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We won it on 617, area code 617, Boston. Beantown.
Yeah,
do all that.
So so it was rigged. What you saying?
That's not what I'm saying.
They rigged it.
That's not what I'm saying, brother.
Because that's what the conspiracy gonna sound like, my man. They might have rigged this.
I don't know nothing about that. I know 8-24. I know that. All right, man. We gonna go ahead and we are going to call it right here. Fantastic show. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. I appreciate
Absolutely.
y'all.
Chat was live, man.
Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you just go ahead and hit that like, that subscribe, and make sure you let other people know about the show that you just watched. And if you were entertained, make sure you share it. And we do this generally Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. We were going to do it last night, but the draft was on, so we pushed it to tonight. But we almost always do Saturday nights unless something comes up. So just check back with us. Make sure you lock in the number 904-219-8264. Look forward to hearing from you, and we'll be back next time. And I'm out. Peace.
Peace.